Chris, because you just said
I'm about to put this link in there.
Yeah, Talkinishwitchris just said, so when you do right, so young May will do right when you do right. Basically saying that she's following our lead. And you know,
that's what Talkinishwitchris said. Oh, because the stud lesbian woman is looking and following the black man still. That's what I told y'all. It's follow the leader. It's follow the leader around this motherfucker. Black men want to be white men.
Man.
Black want to be black men who want to be like white men. It's just a it's just a gift that keeps on motherfucking giving in the worst kind of way, just like an STD.
Like I said, I will not agree with the black men or the white men of the community, but I do want to hear what somebody has to say about Young M.A. because again, everything we said might be crushed with this very argument. Because if you really are going after chauvinistic, objectifying, demeaning, derogatory, defaming things and statements, you should be going at and behaviors. You should be attacking Young M.A. because all of Young M.A.'s lyrics are about sex and, like I said, deep throat me, and I just fuck her for the night, and I just come through at nighttime and fuck her, and I don't care. But if a man says that, he's misusing his patriarchy.
Oh shit! I'm in this. Oh.
What up? What up?
What's going on?
What's going on?
I ain't never used it, so I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know I was popping in.
You was talking all that shit in the motherfucking chat. Oh,
That's
I gotta go
do.
paint my nails. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go. Your motherfucking ass been right here for the whole 24 hours.
I know, because like you said, damn, when they going off, I really want to watch something else. This is too good at the same time.
I'm gonna let you take this up with Jay Lethal.
So yeah, did you hear the question I was asking?
Yeah, you're talking about the Young Ma and
yeah,
basically on how you know. I think I said what I said. I mean, let's keep it real though. These girls that are saying this shit as comments, baby, they just now getting to the gay. They ain't learned how these gays over here can be acting funny, just like the boys or the straight boys over here. They just now finding out that these lesbians be doing too much too. But you were talking about you know, girls. How can Young M.A. be saying all this stuff? And if a black man said this, remember, Young Ma is imitating you.
Right.
Hold on. Okay. When you change, so will she.
Is that's not fair? That's not fair.
Once again, because y'all just said it. Even black women want to serve you. Black women want to look up to you. Women want. Hell, I want to look up to you sometimes. But shit. But the point is, but if you want to be the leader, I need you to act like one. I need you to be one. I need you to possess it. You can't be a little boy all the motherfucking time and crying and bitching all the time. Nigga, grab your dick and say, yo, put your foot down. This is not gonna be this. You're right. We don't need to be doing this. We don't need to be saying this. We don't need to be treating people like this. We do need to have more respect and empathy and sympathy. Black men don't know how to have empathy for motherfuckers. They don't know how to put themselves in other people's shoes.
I mean, but who does it for us? Okay, but to be fair, does anybody?
The women that you lay down do. You wear them out emotionally all the time.
Oh shit, here we go.
You wear them out because I hear about your ass and she tells me about your ass, so I know what's going on in the household. Because you can't go to your homeboys and talk to him emotionally about nothing because they're gonna be like, oh nigga, you a bitch. Because once again, that femininity issue. Y'all can't get past femininity and shit. Sorry, it's hot. Nigga need to turn on the AC. But y'all don't. There is. I tell black women all this time. You have to be your man's safe place. If you make a man feel safe, he'll tell you everything. If you don't make him feel safe, he ain't gonna tell you shit. You have to let your man be able to come to you and talk to you and express himself because, baby, as a black man, because I am a black man, fuck all this gay shit. I'm still a black man first. Ain't nowhere else for us to lay our emotions out. ain't nowhere for us to talk to anybody about things that's going on. Y'all just pretty much eloquently said it through this video. Every niggas is mad and angry all day. I can't. It's hard to talk to angry man every day. You know what I mean? And deal with him every day and stuff because he mad all the time and stuff. Or all these faggot ass niggas. You know, those some of the interesting things that I've dealt with a lot of straight men that they've told that they've like, yo, I fucks with you, Chris. Why? Because I sit up there and I talk to them, I listen to them, and I try to, instead of, like you say, forcing gay, I don't want to force gay on you. I'm going to live my life and be me. And hopefully through my actions and through the friendship that you have with me, you'll maybe see that, man, every gay person ain't like that. I keep trying to tell people, stop letting TV fuck you up out here and make you think that gay look like that. Gay don't look like that. That's one aspect of gay. Gay look like your uncle, your mama, your granddaddy, your pastor. Pastor getting down too behind the closed doors. While he's shaming the gay people, Deacon Froy and Deacon Roy is back there sucking on his dick after church. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff be going on and stuff. Y'all don't let TV get you fucked up. Gay comes in different forms, different fashion, different whatever. Aesthetically, yes, some gay guys you can tell this gay, like that trans person. What that dude should have said, just to alleviate any problems was basically say, if he was confused, hi, I'm Chris. What is your name? Julie, nice to meet you, Julie. That covers the problem right there. Other sir, ma'am, I don't have to worry about getting in that argument. I'd rather just ask you what's your name. Because when you tell me the name that you want to call you, that's what it's gonna be. If your name is Billy Bob, god damn it, it's Billy Bob. I ain't questioning why it's Billy Bob. Even if I personally think it's ugly or whatever, that don't need to be voiced. I'm here to just work, give you this goddamn Call of Duty game, peace out. That's all he's there for anyways. You're not there to argue with customers anyway. So that's bad management and all that up in there. So we need to be talking to them. But the point is, don't think that gay looks like what you see on TV, because it's not. It's not. Black men, you got friends probably that you kick it with, that they be doing any and everything behind your back as a friend that you don't even know that you're friends with. And it would be so cool that they probably want to tell you that they're gay, but because of how things that you say and believe, I ain't gonna tell that nigga that. And then when you do find out, oh my God, yo, was this nigga looking at me? To be honest with you, straight men do more gay shit than gay men do. Y'all slapping each other on the ass all in sports and doing stuff. I don't even do that with my own gay friends.
Look, I just kind of wanted to add to that little part right there. Like, that whole... this idea that every gay man wants every straight nigga. Look, this is particularly for you niggas.
First of all, your teeth is scattered all the way around. Nigga, ain't nobody looking at you.
This is for you niggas. If you ain't got a plethora of bitches running behind you, what the fuck make you think that a gay man is after your dusty dick ass? We have higher standards in men than women do. So if the bitches ain't chasing you down, we damn sure don't want you, ain't checking for you, don't need you, don't want to see you, don't want to feel you.
I say this just to be messy. If a motherfucker is trying you, maybe it's because they see something in you.
Talk about
it. Know, but you know, if a motherfucker do try you, what you hiding? You know what I mean? It's a lot of times people keep thinking about that gay as a choice and stuff. I had never heard y'all talk about the mental. It's more to being gay than just the sexual aspect. There's the mental, there's the emotion, there's the intimacy, there's the connection and the bond. I tell any guy that I had been with in the past, I don't want to just be your boyfriend. I want to be your brother, your best friend, my confidant. I want to bond with you. If I can't have those things, it's not going to work, because sex is only going to last so long. And just being men, we're going to get bored with your ass anyway. So I need more to connect with you than just your body. You know what I mean? Nobody thinks about that. Being gay is not just like, oh, we fuck. And that's y'all straight people that worry about that, because that's what's on your mind all day. That's why y'all sometimes don't have good relationships and leaving these kids with a raggedy ass mom, because y'all was laying down with each other and shouldn't have been laying down with each other. You having kids with people you shouldn't have had kids with. You knew she was nasty in the first place when you saw her, so you should have known to put a condom on with her.
Chris, I have
But
to
once
knock your
again,
ass
the
off.
men.
Nigga start flagging my motherfucking video because you digging all into
Oh,
the
am I
motherfucking
cussing?
life about
Oh, it's
shit.
just because
Nigga.
it's like, huh?
We listening.
You said what again?
We listening.
Oh, no, I don't even. What was I saying?
Hold on, let me
It's
ask
a
you,
lot
Jay
of
Lee.
people. A lot of men
Is this
don't.
your first time having a like being sandwiched between two gay niggas and talking about
I don't prefer that statement, but no, but yeah, I mean, basically, like I said, this whole conversation is new to me because I usually give my perspective
It,
on my channel, and the people on my channel are like so opposite of the perspective that I don't really ever have a moment to really sit and dialogue genuinely with people who I seemingly oppose. So, like I said, I'm open to. That's the whole reason why I have a channel to begin with. When I start talking about this controversial stuff, I plan on somebody eventually saying, "Hey, I no, that's not right," or "I don't agree with that," or "Let's talk about that." That's why I started my channel anyway. So, as far as this conversation, like I said, it's so many different aspects of it that I'm not going to, no matter what facts are brought out, I'm not going to all the way agree. But that's what I think we need to start getting away from
no,
trying to.
and here's the thing: you don't have to agree with it. I think with the most bare minimum that gay people is asking for, trans people is asking for, is at least just give me some, can you give me some understanding? Can you just get it?
Right,
That's all
right.
we asking. I ain't asking to agree for it. I don't agree. You motherfuckers don't agree with extra
Chris,
mustard in their goddamn potato salad. That's fine. You know what I mean?
your name is Chris, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you this. Now, this is a question that this is probably one of my other things that I had on my notes somewhere, but I want to ask you this, and I want you to try to be as honest as possible, considering you're going to have to guess, and you're going to have to also take into account the people who you've talked to, and maybe even your personal experience. Again, this question isn't to be intrusive at all. This is just in general. What would you say is the percentage of people from the LGBT community that have experienced? Oh, damn, Chris.
what happened?
I don't know. Right when I was about to ask.
I think I accidentally hit something. Chris, if you're out there, just hit the link again. Come on back.
Yeah, come on
He'll
back.
probably hear you.
Yeah, I know he's still watching. But my question to can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, there he
My
back.
my
Yeah, now I can
question
hear
to
you. Okay.
okay, Chris. My question to you and to Conscious TV and to the chat, and this is a very serious question that I probably should have started with. Um, I need you to answer this truthfully, and I've asked people in my life, how what would you say is the percentage of people in the LGBT community that have at some point in their adolescent life experienced some form of sexual trauma? What would you say is the percentage?
I mean, that's hard to say because not everybody's open with it. There's a lot of straight people that don't speak about it.
Yeah.
I just talked to one of my straight homeboys who was in football, and we were talking about something, and he had just realized that this older man on his coach, that was his coach, was trying to holler at him when I was talking about something, and it was a realization to him that he had just realized that, oh damn, I was tried.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's hard to say because it's all about people coming up, speaking up. Like for me, I wasn't touched by no adult, but was I tried by some grown ass men because they knew I was a little more effeminate, who had wives and playing the straight role? You damn right. That's why I tell people now, be careful who you let your kids kick it with. I don't give a fuck if it is the coach from the basketball team. You better be going on the field trip too. You know what I mean? Because the main people that's you always talking about other. I don't want that gay man hanging with my son because he's gonna turn out my son. No, it's the motherfuckers that you really trust be the ones in these spaces of where children should be at, or should be watched over, by someone older. It be them. It be the ones in church. So while y'all in there worried about, I'm gonna rear my children in church, that be where a lot of stuff going on too. You know what I mean? But giving your percentage, I don't think I could honestly give you one because I don't know what everybody's been through. You do hear that sometimes that people have been touched, but then I know a lot of gay dudes that wasn't touched, that came from a 2-parent home. That mama and dad, and here's the thing too, I keep trying to tell people, oh, the father was taken out, daddy needed to be home. Some of y'all suck being in the fucking house. You're shitty in the house.
Let me tell you something. I had a mama,
father at home.
I had a mama, a stepdaddy, and a biological father. So I had 2 dads and 1 damn mama, and voila.
My grandfather, my mother died when I was 14. My grandfather and my grandmother raised me. And my grandfather's a pastor. So, and hello. And I straight up told him what I was. Now, I was smart enough to know, get the fuck out the house and make a way for myself because I knew it might go different. I don't know how it's going to go. And I tell some children that too. If you're going to come out the closet, depending on the age you are, you might have to wing yourself off of that parent-dependent shit because they might boot your ass. You need to have a plan. But that's just my advice, depending on the situation of that individual. But, people like don't believe that crap that was told that, oh, his father wasn't there, that's why he's feminine, or she's more butch because she was raised by her daddy and all that. Some kids.
Is that what you were going with that, Jay Lethal?
What's that?
Going with that line of questioning is attributing the sexual abuse to.
Well, I mean, I guess in general, my question would be, is it a false equivalence or is it completely ridiculous to say that a significant portion? Okay, here's my question exactly. Is it incorrect? Would it be an incorrect assertion to say that a significant portion of the so-called LGBT community are actually acting out some form of sexual trauma that was placed on them early in childhood development?
No, and then let's ask these questions.
Jesus.
I got a question like when people say, when is a child even supposed? I mean, not by no adult or anything, but like when a teenager, whatever. When are you supposed to be exposed to sex, any kind of sex? I don't mean nobody touching on you inappropriate and that. I'm talking about whether it's just the girl at school I like.
Okay.
What is the appropriate age? Because let's keep it real too. I say this, y'all. Everybody always trying to keep the boys with the boys and the girls with the girls. That's another reason why I think sometimes shit spawn away because we try to separate the genders all the time. Boy, you can't play over there with them girls and shit. Why? I think some of the best people to talk to is the gay dudes because the gay dudes hung out with the girls since they was little girls. That's why we understand women more.
I mean, I understand. You're speaking about.
Why is it that a little boy? Why is it that little girls can play with kitchens but little boys can't? Isn't that little boy gonna go in the kitchen and learn how to cook eventually?
Of course they need to.
And that's why as a society we have a problem when we see him playing with the kitchen set. Ain't he gonna be frying eggs eventually and cooking the burger? I want a little spaghetti,
green eggs and motherfucking ham. Hallelujah.
Like why is that a problem? Why can't he play with the baby doll? That's why some of y'all suck at watching kids. You ain't got no patience because you didn't play with the baby doll. You didn't feed her the milk and shit. You was too busy playing with the trucks and stuff. And I don't understand how you was playing. It's supposed to be when you playing with the baby to teach you how to nurture, and when you playing with the truck, then you teach you how to work with cars. And half you niggas ain't even got cars to work on. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story. You know what I mean? I'm just saying why. That's why black men especially, we don't know how to nurture very well. One of the things I learned with my grandparents is my grandmother taught me nurture, independence, respecting people. They both did. But my grandfather taught me logic, what's really going to make sense, think smarter, you know what I mean, and how to be a leader. Don't just because everybody else is doing it don't mean you got to. Just like I don't agree with everything that gay people say. I have my own individual mind. I think for Christopher. I have to. If I group thinking alike breeds too much group thinking, and there's never room for individual thoughts for somebody to come to the table with a different solving of a problem or a different idea that may spark some other things. You'd be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? If everybody thinking the same, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to be different. You know what I mean? That's what makes us all different. We all come with different ideas and different thought plans and different, whatever. It's just I just think that like a lot of times we try to get our kids to fit these straight molds that they might not even be. Like you said, you look at Beauty and the Beast, you look at Cinderella, you look at all these other things that you're okay with talking to a bird, you're okay with the magic, you're okay with all this other stuff that's actually bad for their psychology as a kid, but you'll be okay with that. But oh my God, gay is just the worst. Then if that's the case, I tell people, if you got a problem with gay and all that, throw away most of your church songs. Some of your favorite Christian artists that you listening to be sucking dick right after the church song. Sorry to be vulgar. Sorry to be vulgar, but I got to tell you like a T.I. is.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
I thought it was. Do you remember the name of the guy who got outed? Like his sex tape had leaked. What's the name of it?
I don't remember. I know you're talking about because it was like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a horrible dick suck. But the point is, sorry, Jay. I know that's too much for you. But yeah, but
I was going to say that it was funny to me.
Eddie Long is a good one.
Yeah, but I want to stick to because it was interesting to me how the church, like this dude records was everywhere. He was performing everywhere, and the minute that church folk knew what his tea was,
tossed him to the lake of fire.
He was, yeah, like he was
off with your head.
But I'm like, you do realize that he was sucking dick when he made all them songs that usher in the Holy Ghost every Sunday before y'all knew his tea, y'all was getting y'all spiritual rocks off and utilizing the anointing on that music. But because now he's queer, all of a sudden now.
Was that God the God that came into church, was that now in vain? What happened to the Holy Ghost that came into the church? So was that a big shout you were doing the whole time? So now you're phony.
And that goes to the saying that God is the only boss who will fire your ass and keep you on the job. He's the only boss who will fire your ass and keep you on the job, which means that I can be a gifted sinner. You may think, but see, we live in a culture that says because you are a sinner and you're wicked, because we don't accept you, that your gift not effective. If you
but at the same time, they'll tell you God will use anybody. What happened to that?
My gift will still have the impact that it does and still save lives, and people still get saved to that man's music today.
Because God will use anybody.
Are two different motherfucking things. I just thought that was fascinating.
But see, right, because like they say, God will use anybody. He didn't say how they would look, how they would come, what they would have on. Even the devil will come to you in a nice outfit. That's what they say. So, you know what I mean? So you got to be aware of anybody that is dressed in sheep cloak or whatever. And that's what I want to say too. Be careful with what you listen to, what people say publicly. People do say and do a lot of shit publicly, but behind closed doors, it be something else. And I don't mean sexually. I don't mean like that. I don't care if it's I've seen parents tell their children don't lie. And every time I see your ass, you the Lion King. You know what I mean? I see people. You like you were talking about, Jay, about raising your kids and stuff. But are you being an example for your kids? Because at the end of the day, you can't say something and do something else. I would see parents do that. and say something else, but be something. You got to be the example so that they go out into the world and be the example and inspire others and stuff. You know what I mean? And that like the respect thing. Teach your kids respect, and that they might pass that along to their classmates and say, "Hey, man, we might not understand Brian sometimes." And
Jay Lethal got an issue with the respect thing.
Right. But we might not understand why little Brian got them boots on with that fucking furry ass yellow jacket and it ain't matching, you know. But hey, that's little Brian. My thing is this: is little Brian nice to you? Is little Brian kind to you? Do he crack you up? Do he help you with your homework? Be nice to little Brian. Little Brian ain't did shit to you. Is that dress and them boots?
That's
really
not too much to ask. That's not too much to ask.
But people can't give you that. They won't even give you the niceness. I can't even get hello, how are you? Oh, that like I've been like for the most part looking at me. Well, you know, some would think I might be straight, but then when they find I'm gay, oh, I don't want to talk to you again. But what was wrong with me? You was just clicking and clacking with me 5 minutes ago. Now you really want to act funny for what? I ain't really press on you.
Really, it sounds like if anything, you have an issue more so with the older generation patriarchy or matriarchy than you do.
Well, they not. I don't know about having a problem, but they ain't dead.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is what the modern day, what they call the cisgender, you know, what you call the cisgendered pro-black community, what we're living up to, or what we're spewing, is basically an updated version of what our grandparents told us. So
but here's the thing: us younger generation are still looking up to our grandparents. How many people look to grandma as damn near grandma is God?
Right. So
those same traditions that grandma teaches, she still teaches them and then better than you. Just because you got the 2.0 version, don't mean that the baseline is still grandma in them.
No, right. So what I'm saying is basically, it sounds like the issue is with the system that was passed down to us, not so much because the way I'm hearing it, when I hear this patriarchy thing, it's sounding like we're some kind of abnormality. When in actuality, we're doing only what we've been taught for generations upon generations. And whether it's right or wrong, it's not something we just created. This is something that has been
a cycle that needs to be broken.
Well, okay, now whether that's true or not, you're not regarding the fact that this is a cycle that's been going on for so long. So for you to say in 2020 on July 4th that this cycle needs to be broken, hey, fair enough, it could. But what are you using to quantify that when we've already been successfully, when I say successfully, we've been producing and we've been living and whatnot. We've been successfully living under this system that you're now saying we need to break this system.
I think that's the issue, though, is that it hasn't been successful. It hasn't been. It's only been
successful in destroying shit.
With privilege, it hasn't been successful.
It's been successful in destroying shit.
How has it not been successful? We made it through slavery. We made it through Jim Crow. We made it through lynching.
What part of this?
All of those things that I just named: slavery, Jim Crow, the boats, lynching. We made it through that under the system of so-called the patriarchy and the so-called toxic masculinity. The toxic masculinity. No.
Why are you contributing that to the toxic masculinity?
Because that was the same thing that was going on today. Because we had the same spirits and the same structure that we did in slavery and everything else. The only difference is today we have less power and less privilege. Because, like I said, we've been taken out of the house. If you want to speak about privilege, you should have used that argument back when.
Keep your ass in the house then. Stop doing shit. Because at the end of the day, the baseline is you know right from wrong.
That's a case. No. We're not gonna have that argument.
That ain't never went to jail. Fuck me being gay. I'm a black man that ain't went to jail.
No. We're not gonna have the argument because that's a whole nother argument about.
I'm saying this. At the end of the day, if you had at least a decent upbringing, you at least knew right from wrong. Okay.
Right.
Nobody asked you to. Granted, there were things that were systematically set up for you for the probability of you will most likely go down a certain road.
Yes.
Correct. But at the end of the day, you cannot negate the fact that you did not know what could possibly happen if you go down that road. B, we know there's you go down that road. But I'm still, I gotta say it. You still know right from wrong. Everybody doesn't have to do that. There's how many kids you would see on we see it in the TVs. Just because we grew up in the same hood, nigga, you could have went to college too. You had an opportunity, but you wanted to stay on the street and thug. Or you wanted, instead of moving away from all of this shit, when you had the opportunity, because you had a job opportunity, you wanted to stay in the same shit the same city around a bunch of niggas that ain't doing nothing in life, that don't want to be nothing in life. Us black men gotta want better for ourselves.
I'm just saying.
Nobody wanted more for you than you.
Of course,
you gotta take responsibility for you and your actions.
Yes, that's a conversation that can be had. But if we're talking about the patriarchy, like I said, at what point did become? Let me ask you this: at what point did? How about this? Let's take it back to first grade. What year was it that masculinity became toxic? Or no. Let me ask you this: was it toxic masculinity? Yeah, let me know the time frame, because
it's been a long time. Shit, you've been hearing women scream about that shit for the long.
No, but if we're talking about
women just barely was able to vote. What?
No, we're talking about the black. No, we're talking about the black community. At what point did we start calling, or do we say that masculinity is toxic? Because remember, under this patriarchal system, we survived slavery, physical change.
There was, what other avenue did you have back then, nigga? You had to just get with it, or else.
No. What I'm saying is, there
was no therapist. There was nobody to talk to us. It was deal with the shit how we do now. We deal with our emotions. We stick that shit under the rug. We jump on top of it. We flatten that shit, wipe our feet off, and keep pushing. That's how we survive.
We're in a worse place now. We're in a worse place now as black people in 2020 than we've ever been, even at the height of slavery, is what I'm saying. Now that the black man is...
Wait, you're thinking that we're worse?
No, yes. The black Americans collectively, and this is not even an argument. There is no black community. The black community, so-called, as we call it collectively, is in a worse position than we were even at the height of Jim Crow. Because even at the height of Jim Crow, we had our own businesses.
Are you meaning this by psychologically?
I'm meaning it
because every day there are a lot of new black. I live out here in San Francisco, Oakland. There's a lot of new black app owners. There's a lot of black rappers that are creating.
Right, but guess what? Guess what they're not doing though?
We still don't. What?
They're not creating. They're not part of a community. They're their own entity. T.I. can open his own restaurant. 2 Chainz can open his own restaurant. But you don't see black communities as you did in 1962, where you can go to, or 1942, when you can go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and go to that black bank right across the street, that black pharmacy. So what I'm saying is, how is it that when we were in worse conditions under the white man, we had a better reality than in 2020? What's the difference? The difference, my friend, is that we are now living under a matriarchy, and that's what nobody is willing to admit. Back in the time of slavery, back in the time of Jim Crow, or even when they was putting German shepherds on us, the reason why we were able to survive and have so much structure is because the man was known as the head of the household. In 2020, the man has been taken out of the household. Hence, we have no structure at all. So what you're calling this evil patriarchy actually saved us, saved our black asses. And it's looking like if we get rid of that patriarchy, we have the highest rates of abortion. Did you know that in New York, more black babies are aborted than are born in New York?
Okay, but let's say this. Okay, you want to run
That no wait, hold on. Let me make this statement real quick. So there are more black babies being aborted in New York in 2020 than there are being born. But guess what? During the Harlem Renaissance and back in Malcolm X day when they was beating our heads with sticks, that wasn't the case. So how is it that when we were in such poverty, in such physical torment, we weren't killing our babibies and doing all and killing each other in gangs and all this other stuff? But I'm not finished. Hold on. I'm about to put the period on it right here. What is the difference? You tell me, what is the only change in our community that made it to where when we had these German shepherds on us and shit, we weren't killing each other, we weren't killing our babies, we weren't popping pills, we weren't doing all that. But in even our music, Marvin Gaye and all these amazing
people. Talking about niggas tried to be pimps back then. That was the thing that was cool.
That wasn't prevalent. That was not prevalent in the real life communities, brother. You know that was not prevalent.
But you have to look at so many other influences in 2020 and 1960. The very thing we're all on right now, the cell phone and or the computer, whichever one you're on, has shut down and influenced a lot more things now. I just talked about how porn has influenced all of our sex lives. I wanted to talk about how people are racist within the porn community. You'll want my black dick during the day at night, but you can't be my friend during the day. Look at how many things have influenced these decisions that are being made. People talk about how YouTube and Instagram is influenced. Porn is an influence. There's a lot of other things. And the reason why these girls, when you break down statistics as far as women having abortions, well, we got to break it down even more. How many women medically, it wasn't safe for them to have the abortion? How many something would be wrong with the baby if they were to be born? Some of them wasn't just aborting them due to irresponsibility. And how many wanted to have this nigga's baby? The bitch wanted a nut, not this nigga's kid.
But guess what? Let
me say this, Jay.
That's not enough to kill a human being. That's not enough to kill a human being. She has to deal with the consequence. No, listen, I have to stop you right there because I'm a father who's going through child support and all other type of shit. And I wasn't given the opportunity to kill this child. Not that I would have, but I wasn't given the opportunity to kill this child because I just wanted a nut. So that's another thing. Back to you, conscious. Hold on. But wait, I just want to say this because it's important. Because Conscious TV constantly tells me about this privilege that the cis male has. But how is it that I have a privilege when the woman could kill her baby because she just wanted a nut but didn't want the baby? But the black man, the black man has to pay 18 years worth of child support.
I'm not arguing with you about that. Like, bitch, hey, we was fucking around and you want to keep a kid and I don't think you should and you want to. I do think, fuck it, don't ask the man for shit. I'm with you on that.
But that's not the case. So where's the privilege?
But we're not putting what the law says. We're just
we are because you're mentioning privilege. You're mentioning privilege.
I didn't know we was going with privilege. I was going with the woman's body. She has to endure everything.
No. We have to kill that argument right here. The woman's body, that's a human being attached to that woman's body. It just so happens that the female of the species carries the baby.
So
she does not get to kill that child. She does not get to kill that child.
You know,
no one gets to kill a child.
Okay.
This is a really good topic.
It is.
I'm not even sure that we should waste it on the 7th hour.
Right. I'm just saying, man. But I only brought up. Hold on. I only brought up that topic to say there are already a number of attacks on our community. So what I'm saying is,
Jay, you can't find them all at once, man. You're gonna have to take some in sections.
No. All I'm saying,
all the fights, you're gonna wear yourself out.
No. Listen, we have to at once because listen, we're being
Then
attacked
you're
by
gonna
all
tire
angles.
yourself out, and then the enemy will still win. It's like if I start fighting you and never take a break. It's like boxers. Don't they take a couple seconds before they keep going? Because eventually they're gonna get tired, and
I
either one
agree.
of them gonna get him that one good knockout, and it's gonna be a good night. What was that last fight with the dude that hit him in his ear
Deontay,
recently?
uh,
And the big ass white dude?
Deontay
That
Wilder.
shit. If that man did when his equilibrium was off and he was motherfucking drunk walking and shit trying to find the stool, if he didn't take a break, one more hit, it would have been a snack wrap for him. So that's what I mean by as black people, we can't we either need a break off in sections, but we all as a whole can't fight every issue against us. We're gonna tire each other out. We're gonna
Can
tire
I also
ourselves
make
out.
I also want to make a statement about the abortion shit. I feel like most women are not having abortions because they have a loving, reliable man at home who is passionate about the birth of this child.
Exactly.
Like that's not the demographic of women
Okay, wait.
Just horny that night, nigga. You
Let's
want to
not
do
jump.
mad.
Let's take it easy. Can you say that? Can you repeat that sentiment again for me in layman's terms? Say it again.
Me?
The demographic of women who are getting abortions are not those women who have a man at home who is passionate, reliable, and insists upon the birth of the child that she's now choosing to abort. That doesn't make up the large demographic of women who are walking in to have an abortion or women who
and medically, some women can't have a baby because it's gonna take the mother out.
Hold on. I'm gonna answer both of y'all, but first I'll answer Chris. Chris, what we're not gonna do is bring up those little bitty rarities like no, hold on. We're not gonna bring up the little bitty rarities like the people who get an abortion because the baby has Down syndrome or it might kill the mom.
Well, yes, I have to because a lot of black women are on birth control pills and that's fucking up a lot of their bodies right there.
No, but like you said, we can't fight every fight at once. We can't fight every fight at once. The main fight.
Also have fertility issues too.
No. We can't fight every fight at once. And like you said, we have to fight the main issue at once. So the main issue would be out of the however 70 million abortions since 1972, 90+% of that was not from rape, and it was not from
so what is it? Irresponsibility?
So let me get this out. It was not from dangerous pregnancies. It was from, just like you said, Chris, and just like you alluded to, Conscious TV, it was from her wanting to get a nut from a nigga she knew wasn't going to want to take care of the baby anyway. So the problem is women opening their legs, not getting raped, opening their legs for niggas who they know will not care for a baby, and then they remind you, these women aren't getting pregnant because the condom slipped or because the condom broke. They're letting these men ejaculate into them multiple times, going to get an abortion because it's just like that. So what I'm saying is, you should not reward or encourage or support that reckless behavior. If you're going to be reckless enough to come in a pussy, you're going to take care of the baby. Hey, I got 1 million babies.
Right. But most can't take care of things. It takes both. You're right. It's on both people. It is on both people. Okay.
So what I'm saying is she should not be able to kill that baby because she wanted to get a nut and because
but if you know that this woman ain't gonna take care, the dude ain't gonna take care of him, she don't want him. Now she has the baby and now she resenting the baby. Now let's talk about that. Now you got this baby I'm gonna tell you. And now it's
called a responsibility.
That's fine. Let her be responsible and take care of the kid. But now she's a bitch to this kid.
No,
Because
that's
she
no,
hates the
no, no,
fucking
no,
father.
no. That's no,
Now
no.
you got a
We're
whole
not
man
making
going up a
excuses
whole
for her.
mother.
We're not going to make excuses for her. We're going to say that she made a conscientious decision to lay on her back and get cummed in. And so when she got pregnant as a result of her consequences, she now has to deal with the responsibility of her actions. And if she's a bitch to that child who is biologically a part of her, that is because she is a shitty human being.
Well, let me
That's
tell
all
you
it
this.
is.
And then, wait. Okay, cool. And this is why you got a lot of ain't shit niggas, because a lot of kids are born from that exact type of shit.
Nah,
They hate
nah,
the
we're
fucking
not
dad,
always bring.
and then
How
they
does it
do that
always
shit.
come back to niggas?
You
How
guys.
does it always
What?
come back to niggas? Every time we want to talk about
Well, no, I
women,
shouldn't say
the
niggas. I really
conversation
should say
always
man.
gets
I
back to
shouldn't say. I
niggas.
shouldn't
Don't
say
make me mute motherfucking
because
mic, because I will mute all of y'all mic
I
right
know.
now. I will mute the motherfucking microphone.
Date a
Shut the
man
hell
one
up.
time and then
Shut
tell me
the
you got
hell
to tell
up.
me.
I have one thing to
Okay.
say. God damn it.
Yes,
Shut
Father.
the hell up. Shit. Okay. Now I just want to say, I understand Jay Lethal. Trust me, I do. But I just want to say this, okay? The only way that I'm going to remotely respect the sentiments of Black men as it relates to abortion is only if it's not white evangelical women outside the abortion clinic holding up signs. If not, if it's other Black women holding up anti-abortion signs outside the clinics, only if it's the fathers of those women going in, the fathers of those babies that those women going in to abort are out there with a pitchfork screaming that this is their right, because we're talking about Black women having a right to abort these children. Then where the fuck are the Black fathers in intervening in abortion? Where are the Black fathers rallying against their half of the baby that they should have a say so? Because we don't see their ass nowhere in sight. You got every other person out there talking anti-abortion aside from the daddies, the baby daddies whose children are ending up in fucking trash cans,
and give the men that are sticking around with the kids, give them a round of applause. We don't ever talk. We never praise those men that are doing the right thing. Like, okay, I did this or whatever, or the relationship didn't work out, and they still hanging in there. We don't ever give those guys enough credit. You know what I mean? We don't never
right, and those are the guys those are the guys that are vilified and told that we have privilege and told that we're using
everybody has the privilege in a society. It's just in different sections of the society. Everybody has some type of privilege, some way, some type of way. Women know how to use their power. If she really knows that a woman knows how to possess it in a way, she knows how to use it to get a man to do what she wanted to do. A man knows how to play a woman to get her to do.
So why is the patriarchy being attacked as if it's the culprit of if everybody has privilege to an extent and everybody abuses their power to an extent, why is it that I'm not seeing women being called out? You know, they have a hashtag called Believe All Women. Have you ever heard of that hashtag?
Right.
There's literally a hashtag. There's literally a hashtag called Believe All Women. And you know what's the problem with that? Chris Brown, 2 weeks after Chris Brown won the masters to his music. So now Chris Brown owns all the royalties and the masters to his music. 2 weeks after that, he was accused of rape by some woman who claimed to have been raped in his house. He got arrested and everything and then released a few days later because they found out she was full of shit. But on TMZ and everything else, they only put when he got arrested for rape. But when he got exonerated because they found out she was a liar who was a groupie who just wanted to drag down this Black man's name, nobody said anything about it. So again, we're talking about this privilege. I don't understand where's the privilege when things like that are going on. And believe all women. Why should we believe all women when we have real life instances where women are lying and manipulating and we're acting like all women are just delicate flowers who have been taken advantage of? We've forgotten that women have actually plotted men dying. They kill their husband for the fucking
set up kings and stuff to be
right,
fucked up.
right. So why? So where did this hashtag believe all women come from? And this whole sentiment that, you know, again, it's
because
all
probably
it's
for
all
so long because
part of going against the patriarchy.
probably so long so many people was I get where you're going with it, and I get what you're trying to say. I do understand that wholeheartedly, but I think what it is because women have been belittled, bashed for so long. And so now, the minute there's a chance to pop my head about the dirt and go hard in the paint, they might feel like they gotta go hard in the paint. I mean, think about how many like us right now as black people. Well, this is an opportunity where we like, ooh, child, we got all the white people listening now. Fuck it, fire
Okay,
it off. We about to say everything. You know,
okay, but
so we
listen,
going in. We like, fuck this. We getting all ours when
right?
we can.
You get
So,
okay. Now listen, that's a
so I
perfect
think that's the
example.
same thing
Wait,
on women.
that's a perfect example. But look, when we have the mic now, there's a responsible way to do it, which is expose white supremacy and tell our stories and expose Karen. And there's a wrong way to do it, which is throw bricks through Walmart and jump in Target and spray paint and do all this other rioting shit. So what I'm saying is, in every perspective, okay, you might be oppressed to an extent, but there's a, like they say, there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything.
But
So
yeah, right. But remember this too. We're not working in normal condition times. We're working with the president that says outlandish stuff that don't even fucking make sense. So you can't put common sense with shit that don't make sense.
yeah, I mean, I guess
Common
in
sense
all
ain't
in
so
all,
common for everybody. I get what you're saying, but we're not working in the way, the proper way things should be done. Remember, people will say how to do shit publicly, but privately they not doing that. Morally, like even in business, motherfuckers are screwing people over left and right in business, knowing damn well morally that's probably not right to be fucking over this company and buying up all their stocks and shit and railroading them and taking all their masters and all that shit. Morally, that's probably not right. But that ain't the world we live in. Didn't we talk about capitalist society or some shit like that recently? They don't give a fuck. I keep trying to tell people, stop arguing about what's right and what is, or stop arguing about what's right and what's wrong. Start arguing about what is and what is just happening. When you realize what is happening and what is going on, that's when you'll wake up and realize, because all this right and wrong, nobody gives a fuck. Right and wrong is going, good and evil has been around since the sun has been coming up and going down and ain't leaving anytime soon. The best I always tell gay people to do, you want motherfuckers to be inspired or change, make sure your character is intact as a person. Show them through your ways and through you as a person is the only way these straight people will ever get to see something different. If you continue to act and be the bullshit that we see on TV, that's buffoonery sometimes, shit ain't gonna change. That's why, like I say, some dudes that hang with me, well, you hella different. Why? Because I showed them who Chris is. Fuck the gay shit. That's just a small piece of who I am compared to my whole life. There's other things that I have interest in. Me and you could be on PS4 on Call of Duty right now. I'm on your head hardcore. You know what I mean? On the PlayStation. Like, it's so many other things. That's what I say. Being gay and being trans and you being a black man, isn't it more to you than just being a black man? You might know how to draw and shit. You might like four-wheeling in Jeeps and running in the mud and climbing mountains and shit. You might like bungee jumping. It's more to you than just being a black man. Okay, that's that. But okay, when we get past that, what else is there to you?
And I want to
know?
make a mention to this. I think the solution is very simple. I think if men want to avoid their seed ending up in the womb of a woman who has the power to abort because of right, all men got to do is do what women do. Get a fucking vasectomy the way that women tie their fucking tubes. If y'all that pressed about your seed ending up and the fate and destiny of your child ending up, it's very, very.
Because you
Hold
on. Birth control.
I'm about to mute. I'm about to motherfucking mute and motherfucking mute. Okay, now, now I think now that I got the flow, I think vasectomies is the way to go. And I also think that Oh, that's another example of how patriarchy works. That men not only want the burden of safe sex to be a woman's issue, but they also want to dictate what happens to a child that they're really not interested in being there for anyway after the fucking fact. And because men get to sit around and participate in all the goods of life without responsibility, right? We never hear conversations amongst men about how they need to wear a fucking condom or they need to learn to put their dick into women they're willing instead of participating in fucking hookup culture and salaciousness and then having the audacity to be mad at women who's smart enough to abort her child because you know your black ass ain't gonna be around and she don't got the financial bearings to take care of this fucking child and you knew what her situation was before you even put your dick in her ass. But I just rounded all back up to say that if men are that pressed, if I was that pressed as a man and I wanted to ensure that my seed came to fruition successfully, that I would simply nip my motherfucking balls so that I could bust in whoever the fuck I want to without worrying about nobody being able to grow my seed and then fucking abort it. And when I find the woman that I want to settle down with and I believe I can commit to and we can share co-parenting and raise the child successfully, then because you can reverse a vasectomy. Now women take all type of preventive measures from condoms to tying their tubes. Niggas, cut the shit. If y'all don't want a woman aborting your child, clip your fucking nuts and go hoe and bust a nut. Do what you want to do. But if you want to do what you want to do, it's like it's asking for too much around the table. Like y'all black men gotta take the burden of like being precautious and also co-creating their reality accordingly as well. It's not on everybody else to think for black men. It's not on everybody to make sure a black man is fucking the lines that make sure that you're good and satisfied at the end of the day too, because y'all want to lay down with fleas knowing that you're laying down with a dog and then want to burden the dog of getting you flea retrieval, and it's just like, no nigga.
And let's talk about STDs. Shit, you ain't even scratch that. You around here worried about pregnancy. We ain't even talked about STDs. I see niggas, oh, that bitch burned me. No, you burned yourself because you stuck your dick in something. You knew that girl was nasty. You knew she slept with everybody. No, I'm just saying, like, people don't... Huh?
Jamie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I want to say this real quick. So, okay, all of that might be good and dandy, but you're still putting more responsibility on the man because let's be honest, the concept of the deadbeat dad has been around at least since the early 90s. We've had countless books and interviews and movies and everything else about the deadbeat dad.
Because a lot of men don't want the responsibility. It's just
right. I get it. But what I'm saying is that's a tired narrative. That's a narrative that's already been mentioned. Hold on. That narrative has already been brought out several thousands of times since the 1990s. What hasn't been brought out is the trifling, misogynistic nature, the manipulative, stank-ass nature of the black woman. That's what has not been talked about. We're talking about black men and their deadbeat daddy ain't shit. Okay, I get it.
No, you're right. Some of them girls is trifling and they talking about the dude and he really is a good dude. But the
right. What's the name?
No, I get
so my question is, what's the name? And again, this is a whole nother conversation away from the LGBTQ thing, but what's the name?
We already done moved to another city at this point.
Right. What's the name? What's the name for a deadbeat mom? Because I damn sure never heard that term before.
Trifling ass bitch.
No, but they don't say that. But the news would never say that. But people in the movies would never say that. What is the
image
why are we so comfortable
when it comes to children? What is the image of a woman?
No, hold on, because this is a very sensitive topic for me. And somebody in the chat said only hit dogs holla. And I guess that was a shot towards me because I'm a little passionate. I'm a little passionate about this topic. And yes, I'm a hit dog and I'm hollering because I'm going through this in my real life with my real children, where I'm a real good father and I'm being vilified as some abusive monster because they don't want to allow me into my children's life. I could go into that. That's a whole nother topic.
Did you dog? Let me ask you this: did you ever dog her at some point?
No, listen. We're not going to get into my particular situation because it's a very sensitive. No, I know, I understand, and I respect that. But respectfully, we're not going to get into my particular situation because it's a whole thing. I will say that I'm not a perfect person, but I'm a really great father. As far as dogging a woman, I don't think whatever I've done to a particular woman in our relationship has any bearing whatsoever, forgive my language, on my relationship with my children.
Remember I said that thing about I get what you're saying, it doesn't. But remember that thing I talked to you about understanding? When we talked about understanding, I didn't say what her actions were right or wrong. It's wrong. Like, bitch, I cheated on you. So what? This ain't got to do with my son or daughter. Amen. You are right. However, did you ever sympathize and empathize with her with whatever if the relationship went, well, even if there was a relationship or a marriage, is there anything on your part that maybe you did a little too much that like, damn, I see why maybe she might be a little mad. Now, granted, maybe she need counseling. Maybe she need to talk to somebody to work it through.
Of course, yes. But my point in bringing up my particular situation was to say that
I meant that generalized. Yeah.
No. But in my particular situation, yes, there's things that I've done wrong. But what I'm saying is that why is it that the responsibility is always on the man to live up to some moral, ethical code? And if he doesn't, he's quickly labeled the deadbeat. He's quickly labeled trifling. He's quickly what was Beyonce? No, hold on. That Beyonce song, you trifling, good for nothing type of brother. That whole concept of, oh, you a scrub. Oh, I don't want no scrubs. That whole concept started coming in. But wait, that whole concept started coming in, but we never got to identify the woman because anytime we called her a bitch or a hoe, the entire nation came against us and told us how wrong it was. But we're allowed to tell cisgendered men how misogynistic and everything they are.
That's not true.
That is very true.
No, I'm
Look at history.
No, because we talked about this on the phone, remember? And I said, look at how long cisgender straight men got away with being misogynistic. Like, bitches was throwing their jaws up on the stage, fucking niggas who was talking all that.
They still do on after the bus.
Black men have not
throwing her big double D bra.
Yeah, like black men have not always been like hunted for their.
Wait, but who threw the bra on the stage? Who threw the bra on the stage? A woman willingly threw her bra on the stage for a man. Yes or no?
Right.
Yeah.
So how is that a man's fault because multiple women are throwing their bra at him? To me, that's an issue for women.
I'm not saying it's a man's fault. I'm simply just responding to the statement you made when you said that then there's always a congressional hearing when black men express misogyny and sexism. And I'm saying that's not the case because for a long time, women participated in that toxic masculinity with cisgendered heterosexual black men. They brought the music. They went down to the shit in the clubs.
They still do.
They were backstage having threesomes with the hip hop stars.
They still do.
Okay, then. So what you're saying? So then there's still no witch hunt, really?
There is a witch hunt. Exactly. No. What's happening? What's happening is hypocrisy. What's happening is hypocrisy. Like I told you with the Young M.A. thing, if you really had a problem with misogyny and all this lyrics, you would have a problem with Young M.A. Still, nobody has addressed that. The most you can say,
I addressed it in our phone conversation. That's easy.
But that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense for me.
So
easy. Okay, go ahead.
So you're saying that it doesn't make sense. So what was my answer then? Like,
from what I got, you basically said she doesn't. You said she doesn't have any privilege to begin with. So basically, it doesn't matter. That's what I got from what you said, and that's not okay with me. That's not okay.
That was so funny to me
because that's like saying because a black person doesn't have privilege, he can act ignorantly. No, that's not okay.
Hold on. The truth, because privilege and non-privilege exist, the truth is there are things that non-privileged people can get away with that privileged people can't.
No, you can't just make up stuff. You can't just make up stuff.
You gotta understand too.
Like, wait, hold on. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Do not make me mute the fuck out of you niggas at 2:30 in the morning. I do not want to scream.
Oh yeah, y'all East Coast, huh? I forgot. I'm like 2:30. Damn, it's only 11:30.
Through a conversation. I just want to say that. Damn, Okay, no wait. Okay, I got it. Yes, it is. But see, non-privilege and privilege is there either way you go. Yes, there are things that non-privileged people can do. Just like as a black man, I get to parade around the usage of the word cracker, knowing that nothing happens to white people. Nothing happens except maybe their egos, but not even that, because they're so fucking full of themselves and have the word afforded to them in such a way that it doesn't matter what my black ass says about them. I can say you don't cook your food without season. I can say, bitch, you got no rhythm. I can say white men dicks average at a 6.5 at the long. You cracker, wet dog smelling, non-powder, get jiggy with it ass.
Non-powder? What you trying to say? They don't use Johnson & Johnson?
Open throat motherfucker. I can say all that. And sometimes I appreciate not having this hideous shit out of my mouth without consequence. And you know what? That's the least of my comfort. I think that's the least of my luxury as a non-privileged person, is to be able to just say shit without consequence.
But it's literally what's the word? How do I say this? It's counterproductive to engage exactly how your enemy engages in the same form. Like I could understand if Young M.A. was trying to prove a point, but Young M.A. is legitimately living and acting and behaving and thinking like that. So
most butch lesbians mimic after.
It doesn't matter.
Dudes.
Okay, right, but okay. So how could they be?
That's where do you think feminine gay dudes get the feminine?
Okay, so how could these same people be part of a community that's rallying against the cisgendered community when you're imitating us? You're imitating us down to the so-called reckless behaviors that we do, but then when we do it, you rally against us. But Young M.A., you can do it, but the only difference is you don't have a penis. To me, that's the only thing I see. When I think about Young M.A. rapping about
there's an illusion about her. There's a psychologically illusion about her. Yes, she is a woman, but she look like a dude and she move like a nigga too.
Right.
There's an illusion, an allure there. Okay, so that's a seductive way.
So basically, it's okay So basically, you're saying it's okay to demean. It's okay
once again, we're not talking about what is right and what is wrong. It's about what is. That's why she's able to get away with that. It's just like with me. I could be gay and say listen. I could say some gay shit to certain straight partners of mine and get away with it. Whereas other homies of mine that said that same shit to them, they might get slapped the fuck up. It's all about its comfortability. For one, remember, women will accept gay faster than you niggas anyways. So that's why, for one, Young M.A. she's gay. So she's getting accepted already through there. Okay? she's saying all. I mean, at the end of the day, she's shit talking. She probably might not even be doing half the shit she's saying.
Okay, all I'm saying is this: if I'm mad at white people for hanging us from trees and systematically keeping us out of jobs and pushing us into the ghettos, the last thing I would go around doing is hanging people from trees, systematically pushing people into ghettos. Does that make sense? So,
but if that's the case, you need to throw all your superstars in there. None of them are really helping the community. None
no,
of
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If I'm mad at one thing, if I'm rallying against one thing, I shouldn't be doing that same thing in my personal life. So
people say things in public, do things in the private. I said that. They do that. You're right. You can't be phony. You can't be phony. No, I'm not making an excuse. I'm telling you what happens and what it is.
He want all the privilege, baby. I'm just
trying to tell you.
I have no privilege. I have no privilege.
Jay, in life, you do have a certain privilege to move through life in certain ways. Just like me being a more straight-looking black man, but gay, I can move differently through life than maybe conscious in certain ways. He gonna walk down the street, and certain people, depending on where he at and the demographic he at, they may look at him differently certain ways. Whereas I can
motherfucking ass.
Right. And he'll knuckle up with him and they be sleep on the curb. Whereas I could walk through life and it just like when being gay, I know because I'm a 6'2" black nigga, big ass tall and stuff, people gonna think twice before they say something smart to me because they might get choked out. But if I was some small, petite, feminine gay dude, they would feel more inclined to talk shit to me. And don't feel alone like, oh, men are the only one gay. Black women be gay bashing gay boys all the time. How many times you seen gay boys get into it with women and arguing with them and them calling them faggots and shit like that? That's why I say black women love to be our friend, but they don't want their child or anyone close to them really, or they man, to be gay. It's cute when we friends and we kick in because I don't have to lay down with you. And you didn't come from me. But the minute you come from my seed, or the minute you're my man and I find out I find out you're my man and you're bisexual, I got a problem. I can't tell you how many times that black women, I got into it with girls at school. They were calling me gay more than the fucking boys. The boys actually took me in as I got older. Look, like they was like, some of them might knew I was gay, but it was like, that nigga gay, so what? But it was because my character was always intact as a person. I know there are some gay people out there with fucked up attitudes and bad characters and doing fucked up shit to people and tricking people and all of that type of shit. But like you say, if we don't allow to free people, like Fantasia say, free yourself. If we don't allow people to free themselves, you know why I came out at 19? I didn't want my conscious mind running like that, of constantly hiding, of constantly stressed out, of constantly worried about what family. Fuck that. I learned to get out there on my own and make a living for myself so I don't have to depend on family like that. Because I knew that me coming out the closet, this was going to be a lonely road ahead by myself in terms of family. So I knew I was smart enough to know, I'm going to have to get out here and really make it happen. But if we don't allow people to be themselves, and to, like my grandfather told me when I did tell him I was gay, Christopher, you can't go around pleasing everybody in the world. It can't happen. If you try to please everybody in the world, you're going to die unhappy. Get out in the world and do what you want to do, because you're only going to be here once in this form, in this body. If we allow people to go by that, oh my God, how much freer would we be? Just hey, you ain't harming nobody and touching on kids and all that. Fuck all that. Everybody gonna have their own belief system. It's always gonna be like that. It's never gonna change. We're never gonna be equal. Is an elephant equal to a cheetah? Is a cheetah equal to a lion? No. And it's nothing. Life is never gonna be fair. Is it fair in the animal kingdom when the zebra get caught by the lion on the back of the ass? No.
But guess what? We can all be accountable. It doesn't have to be fair or equal. But we can all be accountable.
When is the human being ever accountable? Take the sexuality out of it. When are we ever accountable for ourselves?
What do you mean? If you look particularly on my channel, I have a lot of videos where I'm talking from the perspective of a cisgendered male as how we do things wrong. how we're killing each other over Jordans, how we're doing this. I have a million videos about it. In other words, there's a real way to take accountability. Accountability is not some magical blanket statement. Accountability means, oh, I see where I was out of line.
But Jay, if you want that, it's gonna have to start when they little. You're gonna have to teach, like your children, start teaching them accountability now, so that they know how to take it upon themselves when they get older. A lot of this shit you ain't gonna change grown people. It's gonna come through the young generation. You can't. A grown person is gonna do what a grown person gonna do. It starts with the children. You have to get in the children. Like, don't the Bible even say train up a child in the way he should go? So if you teach him respect, if you teach him responsibility or her responsibility, if you teach people right and do unto others. Always, the rule, the golden rule was do what is it? Treat others as you want to be treated. I always say fuck that, because I don't know how you personally like to be treated, but I know I like to be treated with respect. So I'm gonna teach you to make sure you treat me with respect. You know what I mean? And if you see me giving it to you, I need it back. And if you can't give it to me, peace out.
I can, at the end of the day, I can agree, and I'm gonna make sure to continue to put out the sentence that, or make the effort to let it be known that we all need to respect each other. But like, for instance, right here on the screen, there's a comment that says, "Hey everyone, hello, Conscious TV. This is a vicious circle. It's gonna take the black man to make it right. Black women cannot do it. We've tried it."
Because they're looking at you as the leader, Jay.
They're looking at us as the leader. So now here's my thing.
But the leader can't lead if he don't even know how to lead. Because, nigga, you make 2 wrong lefts, I'm off the train and going to start my own leadership. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got that. And that's why I think, here's the doubling back to my very first question, probably when we first started the stream. We've been talking for a really long time. But when we first started the stream, I asked, is Billy Porter trying to destroy masculinity?
No.
Wait, just wait, because I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of interviews from Billy Porter, and in all the interviews, I've never seen any real life solutions where he allows for masculinity to flourish and blossom in a productive way.
I'm sorry, did you think white media was going to let him?
Well,
did you think white media was going to let him?
I mean, he's up there. White media let him walk up there with a dress and do everything else.
If anything else that's going to provoke thought and change and positive change, you think we're going to let you tell us that? How dare you think that? And we're not going to let this black nigga say nothing about that's going to actually help the black community flourish. Get out of here.
Well, all I'm saying is Billy Porter is speaking from the perspective of a black gay man.
I think that
he brings up his blackness.
You're talking also about a gay man from a different time that grew up in a different world. So what was his experiences? That's why I say be friends with an older gay man. You will learn so much about what they had to go through and endure and stuff. But like I said, he's an older gay man coming from maybe that same toxic masculinity is what scared him and said, fuck it. There's some gay men that can't, that same aggression that most black men have can't always be on that. They don't possess that. You know what I mean?
Johnny,
I had a man tell me one night he was supposed to be straight, but you know how that go. And I asked him one day, he said, Chris, I'm tired. I gotta be the man for you. I gotta be the man for her. I gotta be the man for this. I can't do all of it. Yeah, listen, that's a mistake and a lesson I learned years ago. But the point is,
Ladies, can I get my clock?
But the point is, I listened to what he was saying. That is a lot of stress. Now, fuck me out the equation. I'm a black man and so is he. So I already knew that part. But to once again, have to try to be a leader, lead my household. How do I lead my household when I don't know how to really lead my household? Half the black men don't even know what it's like to live on their own. I hear it. I try to tell black men all the time, stop trying to move in with your girlfriend. Go move by yourself. Go get to know who you are. You'll be amazed that living by yourself, you can learn more than living with another motherfucker. You can't discover who you are at 26 if you got this person at the house all day with you. Learn how to live with you as a grown person. Learn how to take care of you as a man by yourself. How you gonna take care of me and the kids if you can't take care of you, bitch? I ain't calling you a bitch, but I'm just saying, you know, how learn how to take care of you. Learn how to lead yourself. I can't get on the reason why some black women don't want you is because you just be walking in circles. And then I try to, as a woman or as your lover, try to throw you a few bones to help you, and you don't want to listen to none of them. The black woman is your helpmate. The black woman is your pusher. She is your encourager. She is your uplifter. But you fighting her all the time because you trying to please a bunch of motherfuckers outside of this house that at the end of the day don't lay down with you. At the end of the day, not rubbing your back at night. At the end of the day, not putting your fears to rest. You know what I mean? You trying to impress, once again, please a bunch of motherfuckers that don't mean nothing. That's doing any and everything they damn self anyways. But I tell black men all the time, live by yourself. Do for yourself. Stop depending on women to do everything. She's not your mama. She's your girlfriend. She's your wife. Right. I worked at AT&T for years. It baffled me to see how many black men didn't know how to work their iPhones.
Okay, and
it baffled me so many times to see how you got caught cheating. I had to teach so many just men, really, period, how to hide your photos and stuff. If you are gonna be cheating, you shouldn't be doing it. But if you're gonna do it, damn nigga, do it smart.
So why again? So when we talk about men, you know, men having always the responsibility, it's kind of like the same thing. It's like, okay, how come then we don't ever hear the narrative of demanding that women don't allow this man in her legs unless he displays a certain amount of qualities?
Then
why is it always
sisters? Start doing it with your cousin, your female cousin.
No. Again, no. See, you're missing the point. We keep putting the burden on the man to handle everything.
I said the parents.
Okay,
Jay,
so that
parents.
I'm talking about black man first want to be the head and want to be in charge,
and then you want to delegate work.
Leadership,
I'm just saying, you can't demand all these things from us, but then say your patriarchy is so overwhelming.
I'm saying teach if you want these girls to stop, because I agree with you. You shouldn't be with dudes irresponsible.
We don't need to teach them. Men don't need to teach them. Women need to close their legs on their own. They don't need to teach them.
You have to, because little girls are already taught that men want your pussy from little girls. So you gotta start talking to them.
Women are powerful, right? They're all powerful. They don't need no man for shit. Women need to close their legs.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's just a defensive mechanism because they've been hurt so long. That's
bullshit. Let them say that. Let them admit that.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not a woman. I'm just from
let a woman. All I'm saying is let a woman admit that it's a defense mechanism that whole time when you've been saying you don't need a man and all this shit. Let us know that you've been tripping, and this goes back to accountability. As a woman, the way you can be accountable. Let us know that you've been tripping a little bit. Let us know that it was wrong for pushing us out the household and allowing the government to come in.
Once again, push you out the household. Where was your own place anyways?
What do you know?
You wasn't married to her. So where was your place at? Where was your own? Can't nobody kick you out of your own shit.
You're not listening. Like I said, okay, let me give you a real life example. Because like I said, I like to contextualize it. Maybe you don't understand the attack. Now this is a very real sentiment, so I need you to hear this. Maybe you don't understand the attack on Black America in detail, but there's a section of the attack. Just listen. There's a section of the attack on Black America where they're systematically removing fathers from the homes, and I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how it doesn't matter if you have your own apartment or your own Ford Challenger or Dodge Charger or nothing. What happens is the judicial system in particular and the family courts in particular side with the mother. then we could also speak about the certain government. Hold on.
I'm with you for that, but I was talking about prior to you getting to that point.
What do you, but wait, because
prior
listen,
to the child being born. Prior to
no, you're not. When I say take of the father taken out of the homes, that's what I'm talking about. He only becomes a father once the child is introduced. Before the child is introduced, what a man does on his own, he's not affected by
y'all
it.
won't even invest in a lawyer. That's why y'all get these shitty ass visitations. You won't even get a lawyer.
You're missing the point.
I get what you're saying, Jay. I know
because you're acting from a place of privilege right now, and I need you to check your privilege right now.
What privilege do I have? But okay, in this matter, but what?
Would you like me to explain your privilege? Would you like me to explain your privilege to you?
Let me listen more. That's all I'm gonna say.
Would you like me to explain your privilege to you?
If you want to, go ahead.
Okay, well, I would like to explain your privilege to you. Right now, you're privileged, and you are basically. Do you have any children?
No.
Okay, this is why I say you're privileged. You're privileged in the sense that you don't have children. You have not been through this instance. Therefore, you are acting from a place who's not experienced it. So you are not giving it the same level of gravity that I would be giving it. Therefore, you're acting just like a white person when they shrug it off. Oh no, racism. Pick yourself up.
I'm just saying.
You're displaying the same symptoms of someone who has privilege. You're just shucking it off. You're not allowing me to say my sentiments. You're not allowing me to say my grievance.
I know. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I understand there are things systematically. I already know things are set up by the third grade where you most likely probably go. Sorry, they doing fireworks around here. But Jay, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm really trying to say is you got to figure out a way how to still make it through on the other side amongst all the, like you said, we made it through slavery and everything. We had to figure out a way to make it through. I've seen niggas that do be struggling in court that I know the bitch is being an asshole. But motherfucker, you'll spend $500 on some new J's, but not put $500 down on a lawyer.
No, but you're not getting. It's not about the lawyer. Hold on. Let me stop this here. Taylor Brooks. Let me and Conscious TV. I'm respecting your chat because I'm in your chat. But if this was my chat, I would go hard on my people in the chat. Taylor Brooks. This is some
Taylor Brooks. I see it. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Okay. This is some bullshit, Lord Jesus. How about you let me know, maybe you can join the chat and let me know what is being said some bullshit. Just let me know.
I'm about to put the stream. I'm about to put the link in there.
Put the link. Let me, if you want to show your face.
You'd have been called to the carpet, boo. You'd have been called to the red table.
Because I mean,
you want to come and join in, honey, and let Jay Letho have it, baby. I'm about to give you the link.
Let me have it. Because it's about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. You said it's some bullshit, and tell me why it's some bullshit that the black man is being systematically taken out of the house. Remember, I have a couple receipts. So I really hope you have receipts this morning. Because you said it's some bullshit what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is that
maybe she was talking about me, shit.
Or maybe she was talking about you.
Look at you, yeah. I could have been bullshit, you know.
You could have been bullshit, but all I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. When I'm talking about the man being taken out of the house, it doesn't matter what he has or what lawyer. We know that the system is purposely taking him out. So if we know that, how then are we attacking him, talking about his privilege, and why don't we? Where's the
love and the understanding for you?
Yes, where's the group that fosters us? That's all I'm asking for, because I'm not saying we're not fucking up, but remember, that's been the same narrative since the 90s that we've been fucking up. I want to know
before that, but okay.
Before that, I want to know who's gonna give us some understanding and contextualize
it. It's just gonna have to take individuals around this America. It's just gonna have to take that. It's gonna have to take people to find, for a collective of people to speak up, and if you're one of them, you're speaking up now.
I want to say something.
You might
I'm sorry.
inspire somebody now.
Right. I'm sorry to stop you. I read that he put Conscious TV put the stream in the chat. I need one of these people. I'm getting messy now. I need one of these people to join in because a lot of you are talking about girl, can he shut the fuck up and hand him his ass. And so it's like y'all don't like me or something. I just want to know what I did wrong.
I love you.
I just want them to tell me face to face why they don't like me. Tell me, articulate it. Is this
if you're gonna step on Orisha's toes, you're gonna have to deal with the wrath of Orisha.
I'm just saying.
But no, I get what you're saying. There is things set up for you not to be in the house and not all that. What I'm simply asking of you is to figure out because every situation is different. So you can't apply the same logic to every man's baby, that type of situation. What I'm simply asking for you is figure out a way for you as an individual to skirt around it so that you and yours can be complete the best it can for the confinements that you are under. Okay, just like as Black people, we work within the confinements that things that is or whatever. We just try to work with what we got. So what I'm saying is, if that is getting a lawyer, if that is putting more money or buying more, because every situation is unique and different. But all I was simply saying was find a way around it. Okay, people have problems with gay people. Okay, how, for me as an individual, how can I still relate to straight people? How can I still be cool with people? Okay, cool. I'm gonna figure out a way to skirt around all those issues and still be my brother. And you, Jay, still be my brother. That I know that you still gonna have my back and I'm gonna still have yours. That when these niggas was talking shit, not even about me being gay or whatever, they just talking shit, they don't like my character, or they ain't like my car or whatever, or talking bad that I was out here lying, but my character not to be that or whatever, and vice versa. But all I'm asking you is figure out, there always is a way. You just got to skirt around it and figure it out, whatever that is, however you guys, if that's getting 2 lawyers, if that's finding somebody to do pro bono work, whatever it is, there's a way. Find a way around it. Yes,
and I got 2. And you're right. We gotta find a way. It's two questions that keep coming up for Jay Lethal in the chat. Jay, people want to know if you're married.
Oh, he had to lean out.
Hear me?
You
hear me?
Yeah.
You said if I'm married?
Yeah, they want to know if you're married and how old are you?
I'm not married. And I do not like to say my age just because.
That nigga's 49. No, I was playing.
I'm about 44. Nah, I don't like.
I'm about 35. That's what I.
35. Damn. I've been drinking and I've been smoking, so I look a little fucked up and I'm tired, so I'll probably look.
Okay. Since you put those in, we'll
everybody look fresh in the face tonight.
Yeah, just take a few years off of that. But nah, I'm
29.
Put it this way. I never got married, but everybody that when I get into a relationship, I'm very serious in my relationship. Things get crazy. Like I said,
are you controlling crazy?
No. Listen. Like I told you, it's hard to explain it to someone who hasn't been through it, but once you have a child, the dynamics change and there's different things that can come into effect. The person, her mother might start putting stuff in her ear. Her friend might start putting stuff in her ear. Can you hear me?
Hold on. I want Just Be Real to come up on the stream. Just Be Real. You are having a fit in this chat, and I want to give you that. Are you willing to come up on this stream and have this conversation? You ain't even got to be visual, like you can be audio, but I want you to say what's on your mind.
Yeah, they're trying to go in on me on the chat. I think
I'm trying to show you some love. It might be tough as hell kind of love, but it's love nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I feel the love. Like I said, I'm just here for understanding, and really, I don't feel like I'm a disrespectful person. I just feel like
they never do.
Well, no, that's the thing. You can't call me having my own perspective disrespect. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. Disrespect is outward, derogatory, aggressive behavior.
Disrespect though comes in many forms. Your side sometimes can be disrespectful.
Fair enough, but also disrespect is subjective, right? So are we just going to expect everybody to adhere to every little thing that disrespects us? What if I don't like somebody being within 2 feet of me and I feel like that's disrespectful, or I don't like somebody making eye contact with me because I feel like that's disrespectful in my hood. So now everybody that makes eye contact with me, I aggress them. It's not okay.
Well, now that clearly says somebody didn't get a hold of you years ago to let you know, hey, you need to calm that down.
Well, no, I mean it's not about
who raised you.
Hold on, Just Be Real says they want to call. All you got to do, Just Be Real, is press the link that they put in there and
hit the link.
And then
and it'll bring you into the stream. It'll give you the option to either turn on your camera or to give you like an avatar, and you can just like be audio. You don't want to be visual.
Just to be honest, I want to hear from some Black women. I really want to hear from some Black women regarding this, because we tackled the LGBT community. We tackled that topic pretty good. It's still, whatever. There's still going to be questions from the people, but since we're just kind of ending it off. Yeah, I want to hear from some women. Y'all sound like y'all. And here's the thing, man, I welcome it because I have a lot of videos about it, and I champion the whole concept of me speaking from the perspective of the so-called toxic Black male. I'll speak from our perspective because I know I'm speaking from a demographic that doesn't get spoken for often, and a lot of women feel like they can bully Black men. Oh, okay. Hello.
True Blues only. Can you hear us?
Shout out to Quan.
True Blues, we can't hear you if you're there, boo.
True Blue.
This is the quiet before the motherfucking storm here.
I'll bring it, man. Look, I've been training. Was we 8 hours? Look, 8 hours deep. Like it's nothing. For the people.
I know we did a whole work shift at Taco Bell.
That's a whole facts. That's a whole shift. That's a whole shit. Somebody call in and tell me why you disagree with or you don't like me, and tell me why. When I say that Black men and Black masculinity is needed.
I am not liable for the way all y'all about to carry on this platform. I ain't got shit to do with the way y'all about to carry on. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I done cape for 7 hours straight. I
ain't seen nobody go to the bathroom the whole hour I've been here. I'm like,
right.
Ain't nobody took a doo-doo, nothing.
We came
nobody got hungry. I ain't seen nobody eat.
We came ready to set the movement off tonight.
I was going to take my shower 3 hours ago.
Man, who you telling? I got this leftovers right here. I've been staring at this leftovers, but I'm not gonna touch it. We gotta have this conversation. I don't care how long it is.
I got a whole pizza down there on the floor.
Look, we got 40 people constantly here. Okay, come on, Just Be Real. Come in. Well, I understand it's not that you don't like me. I understand you may disagree with me. Let me know how you disagree with me.
Chat, boo.
Remember, everyone in the chat, this is my thesis. Hold on. My thesis is that there's an attack on Black men, heterosexual Black men.
My thesis. Come on.
Right. You know, Black American men, there's an attack on heterosexuality because for a number of reasons. The main reason from white supremacists, they want to disrupt the households. And so they brought in a number of things, Section 8, blah, blah, blah. They started taking out the dads.
Another way for you to fight it is, nigga, get a law degree.
Oh God! Now I gotta be. No! Now I gotta be Johnny Cochran. I gotta be Johnny Cochran.
I didn't say you. Your kids, your son.
We gotta be Johnny Cochran now.
Wait.
Somebody. That's the only way shit gonna change.
But we also have another. But we also have another issue though. Like, okay, it's one thing for the government not to allow you technically into the home. That doesn't explain why you're not participating in raising the child. Like, you don't have to be home to be. Okay, let me give you an example.
Wait.
Home to be an effective parent.
Can I give you an example? Can I give you an example? Do you know how often? Okay, this is where your privilege might speak. Your privilege might show right here. Do either of you know how often the non-custodial parent sees their child or is allowed to see their child?
Are we depending on by state? What are we depending it on by?
Well, okay, in the state of Texas, do you know how often the non-custodial parent is allowed to see their child?
Maybe a week, a day. 2 days out the week, maybe.
Okay, so Chris, you're saying that you believe that the non-custodial parent is allowed to see their child 2 days out the week?
In the state of Texas.
That's what you. Okay. So that's your estimation.
I don't know, but I'm guessing.
Okay. That's a fair guess. Conscious TV. How often do you think in the state of Texas the non-custodial parent is allowed to see their child? If you had to just guess, it's okay if you're wrong.
Once every 2 weeks.
You said what?
Once every 2 weeks, every other weekend.
Yeah, yes. So just so anybody doesn't know, and just for you, just so you know, Chris, no, you do not get to see your child a few times every week. You get to see your child one time every other weekend. Now listen, every other weekend. It's not like you get him for a whole week or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So in 14 days, you only saw him twice, on Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. All those other 12 days, he was with his mama. So when you're talking about raise him right and all this other stuff, I'm letting you know that you're only seeing your child for maybe 10% of their life. And you're expecting that 10% of the time that you're with them to affect and offset the other 90%. It's improbable. It's statistically and percentage-wise, it is improbable, damn near impossible to expect to offset 90% of bad parenting versus the 10% of time you have him. Mind you, I'm a server in a restaurant, so Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays are my busiest days. Those are the times when I get to see my son once every other weekend. But during the weekends, I got to be at work because that's the time I make money to pay for the child support for him. I had to put myself on child support because this system said that, in order to get visitation of your child, which means you can see him once every other weekend, you have to put yourself on child support. So I had to put myself on child support and put that stigma on myself, because when you hear a man is on child support, you automatically think he's a deadbeat. So I had to put that stigma on myself just to be allowed by the state of Texas to see my son, just for them to tell me I could only see him once every other weekend. And now here you are telling me, well, if you just raise him right during that Friday and Saturday of every other weekend, that's going to be enough for him to be a good black man, versus the 90% of the time that he's with his mom getting taught about a bunch of bullshit. No, I resent that And this is how a bunch of black men are being called deadbeats, but they're being systematically removed from the house. And I want anybody to call in and tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm going through it.
I hear you but see, here's the thing. We got to be careful with when we talk about this, what we generalizing, because when you break it, I hear you emotionally. I hear your hurt. Let me just say that, Jay. I hear you pissed off. It makes sense that you only can. How can I really be a good parent if I got this small of a percentage looking after this kid? And you right. I'm not going to even argue with you about it. The only thing I can say is like that question you asked, well, what do we do about it? The same way black people are advocating for the change that we need, start making a push for the change that black men need in the court system when it comes to fucking children. Create an avenue for that. Here's a chance to be a leader on something. You feel this strong about it, I'm with you, because honestly, I've seen that shit.
Just be real. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off. Excuses. Just be real on here, because now she says I'm making excuses. See, this is what I'm saying. When people hide behind these little pictures, they get real brave. But
Okay,
when
hold on. So let me issue out a official bird call. Just be real. If you are in the comment, baby, we would love to have you in the stream so that you can come on and vocalize all of your sentiments. I'm about to once again put the link to StreamYard in the description. In the stream, so that you can just click.
Only thing I can say, Jay, is I understand what you're saying, and it needs to change.
Read the comments.
The only solution I have for you is you gotta attack it intelligently.
But read the comments. No, fuck intelligence. Read the comments. Real black woman talking about, I feel like he's projecting. Excuses. This is why no, none of them are right. 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 None of them are right.
That's fine. I didn't say they were right. But what I'm saying is
none of them are right. None of them are right. No, I don't even want to hear it. There needs to be a moment of silence. There needs to be a moment of silence.
I'm silent.
Only thing you need to do.
There needs to be a moment of silence, brother.
What them girls is saying, yes, there are some mean girls. Yes, there's some girls that do
mean girls.
Those girls that are saying that shit, that are not thinking. Plus, you got to look at how old are these girls? If they 18 and they mama is 32.
I'm looking in the comment section. Maybe they got some old faces, but I'm looking at some old faces, some struggle faces in these comment section right here.
Now, Jay, don't get me.
Got some struggle on them.
Right, Jay.
To the people that's watching. Don't get mean to the people that's watching. But emotionally, I hear you, and I hear the frustration. I can't tell you. I don't have all the answers to that particular problem. Only thing that common sense that says to me, if this is through the law, find a motherfucker that can maybe lobby and change some of this stuff in your state.
Lobby. We still talk about lobbying. We still talk about black rights. We still talk about the judicial system. Huh? We still talk about the judicial system in America.
I was speaking. If you're gonna go in terms of the judicial system as far as father and parent,
what don't you understand about a systematic war? What don't you understand about a systematic war?
But if you could change this law to that it don't favor these women in court. That's what I'm trying to get you to say.
We're not going to do that, because that's the whole war. The whole war is to put the woman above the man, to create conflict in the household. That's the whole foundation of the war that's going on.
Right, but you got to start somewhere, Jay. Where is it to start at?
What's to start at? Again, accountability. Because guess what? Because no matter what benefits that the government tried to give our black women, if our black women stood unified with us and did not accept those benefits, then we wouldn't be in this position. Or furthermore, if the black woman found a way to find a loophole and still accept those benefits, but still help us under the table, then we wouldn't be in this position. But they don't. But they don't when they put us on child support and they're putting us in jail and kicking us out the house.
Wait. I don't want to scream through the thing now. A lot of men right now are living with their woman
and the kids.
Are housing their men unlawfully when they should not be technically. Like, black women are
good. They should, because you know why? We're in slavery, so they should help us just like we would be helping them.
But if I'm gonna put my shit in jeopardy and have your ass here, and I know you ain't supposed to be here. God,
yes,
you better be pulling in some money.
No. We're in slavery.
You better be helping raising these kids.
Off YouTube.
We're in.
Because he be hyped. I be hyped with him.
I'm taking a goddamn month off. Yes, I am.
We're in slavery, so therefore, yes, you need to harbor a fugitive. You need to harbor another your runaway slave nigga, and you need to get all the butter biscuits from massa, and you need to bring the butter biscuits back to the house, and we need to split the butter biscuits in half and feed some to the kids because we're all in slavery together. And you need to utilize the fact that the white man is giving you these gifts. That's what the white man is doing, giving gifts to the woman. And again, we're not going to get away from that.
Don't have to get on the system. She has a choice
exactly.
of not getting on the system.
So we need to talk to her. And again, we need to talk to these women.
There's women that take care of their kids that don't have a man on child support. They don't ask the court or for food stamps.
Right.
They deal with that shit. And they
just but there's millions who don't. There's millions who don't.
You can. If you don't have to see your kids. There are those. Let's talk about those women. There are women.
Man, I'm just saying. Where's y'all are never gonna hold women accountable. I told you to look in this comment section and check these women and let them know how disgusting they are for having the nerve to tell me that I'm making excuses and projecting when I'm explaining the attack on black men in America. If you don't know and excuse my French, but if you don't know about the fucking attack on black America, then be quiet. Don't have the nerve to come out your mouth.
If you feel an attack, nigga, fight back. That's what y'all supposed to do. Stop being little fight back, which that means fight in the court system. That means fight for your household. That means fight for the love. That means fight for your kids. Fight back. Stop laying down and letting the white man railroad.
You know where the fight is at? You know where the fight is at? Guess what? The fight is in the. Guess what? The fight is in. The fight is in the comment section. The problem is I came here and I'm still here with the open mind, but instead of calling out the real cancer in the community, you're telling me what I should be doing.
I'm saying if it's set up against you.
No. Listen to me. Right now, what we're experiencing, maybe you can't see the chat like I can. But I'm looking at the chat right now. The people, when I say the chat, I'm talking about the people like you were in the chat, real human beings who are listening to this conversation. Real human beings right now are making disrespectful remarks about what I'm saying as if I'm somehow wrong or being disrespectful. And it's one thing to disagree. It's one thing to personally attack me by saying I'm making excuses and
everybody ain't educated as you, Jay.
Right. But guess what? What I'm saying is, regardless of me going to get a lawyer or doing whatever I need to do, we need to first tackle us. So here I am, a cisgendered male, whatever, on this platform, opening up and having a real communication. Yeah, when we see real instances of people who claim to be our okay, so you don't like the patriarchy, you don't like all this. What about the attacks I'm getting right now?
They should be attacks.
No. Because you might say I'm being fragile. You might call it, and again,
I'm listening to you. Attacks are attacks. Listen to your hurt and your pain and stuff.
Hold on, Conscious TV. I want to hear Conscious TV.
Hold on. Attacks are just everybody is just speaking. Honestly,
Okay,
right now.
okay, just
And
yeah, okay. Guess what? We can do that. We can speak honestly. So a man is one with a penis, and a woman is one with the vagina. And I'm just speaking honestly. So that's not an attack either. So
Okay.
we settled it.
Jay,
Because since we can just speak honestly, and we don't care.
Are you going to really moonwalk 1,800 steps back?
No, that's exactly the same level of disrespect.
We done made it too far for you to be backtracking. Now we done
because
we done been teaching for 24 hours at this point now. Come on now.
Right.
Don't go all the learning out the window.
That's what I'm saying. I thought we were on the same page. But if we're on the same page, how then can you tell me, oh, they're just saying the truth? They're not attacking you.
I didn't say the truth.
I didn't say nothing about truth. I said everybody is speaking their minds. Like we're here to have speaking their minds. But you
right. So you're saying it's not an attack to just speak your mind. So how come again when I speak my mind about the LGBT community, why is that an attack?
Attacking you, like people are giving their opinions based on what you're saying. They're giving your opinion. They're giving their opinions.
And this is my exact point about the LGBT community. When I give my opinion about anything regarding the
hold on, wait a minute. Like, did you see the comment section of I wasn't butthurt over nobody disagreeing or in their feelings. I mean, it was what it was. Like people getting their rocks off. It is what it is. Like people.
People not gonna like a lot of things you say or we say. Like it's whatever. Don't get butthurt on some people on the internet that you ain't gonna never see.
But no, it's not about butthurt because guess what? I got more weed. I got more weed and I got leftovers. It's not about butthurt. It's about
past that shit.
I know, right? It's about accountability, and the problem is instead of this is supposed to be a place of openness and learning and embrace, but when you're reading the comments, and the comments is important because these are real life human beings, mostly women. None of them are coming from a place of trying to even understand where I'm coming from. So this is what I'm saying. When somebody tells me you want me to understand where you're coming from, look at your comment section right now. You were telling me.
Wait a minute. But don't take your tips with black women out on the queer community because we just made good. We're good.
This isn't about
whatever you got.
At this point, no.
People even in the comment section.
I'm not talking about LGBT. I'm not talking about LGBT
conversation because we done squared
that
off already.
We're good. I'm not talking about
into when you wanted to address black cisgendered women about child support and abortion and everything else. So don't be trying to throw the
no. What I'm saying is that why is it that you see how you expected me to come here from a place of openness and accountability and honesty and not blaming anybody? You wanted me to come from that place. I'm reading in your comment section. You mentioned about the people in my comment section. Remember, you mentioned to me about my following. So now I'm in your following, and the people who are telling you that they love you, and that's another thing about black women. They think it's funny when black men get mad, and that's really what it comes down to. And yes, I have to throw
all these same black women were showering you with love, though. When I was on my Dr. King speech about how we love black men, all these black women who are only critiquing.
Is there only one section of black women you know?
Until you call them out.
Is there only one section of black
women
you know?
Go on a mute marathon. Hold on. All these black women were also showering you with affection. But see, I said this earlier on in your conversation, okay? I think at some point, black women also want permission to be upset at all of the issues that have pretty much weathered and worn and torn away at them. Like black women have been taking one for all the teams. They've been taking one.
Black men have been taking one for all the teams.
They've been taking one.
Argument of really of who got the hurt the most. Is that really what it is?
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. And I want to say the last part too. All these black women are saying, as it relates to the child support issue, is they're saying, yes, we recognize there's a system that keeps its foot on a black man's neck, but they're also saying that the way out of that system is for black men to grow up, to be more accountable.
Oh,
here's the thing. He's putting his personal life with it. And
I have to.
I get what you're saying.
The same way when you're talking about the LGBT community, you bring your personal life into it.
No, I'm not mad about it. But I'm saying Conscious TV is more so looking at it as a whole picture of what he's saying.
He's speaking from a privileged perspective.
Fuck this privilege shit. Let's just say what it is. Fuck that. No, because it's
privilege doesn't matter now. Fuck the privilege now.
I never said anything, nor in the comments.
You mentioned privilege a few times.
Because it was to debunk really about all that.
Because it was about you. Because it was to help your point.
No, listen. What I was saying was Conscious TV was generalizing.
You both are speaking from a place of privilege, and that's the funny part about it.
He was generalizing as far as he was generalizing in terms of the men that actually really don't. And it's the people that are on your team that are making it bad for you.
Okay, hold on. Let me just jump in because now I got
not the legal part.
I gotta talk real quick. What's your name?
I'm talking about proving the stereotype.
This is a very triggering conversation for us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm triggered. I want a black woman to call in. How about all these black women? I want a black woman to call in. How about all these black women? None of y'all phones work? None of y'all got Wi-Fi?
They don't want to battle you, Jay.
I'm just trying to figure out. All of y'all are commenting, all this craziness in the comment section, 43 people, none of y'all got Wi-Fi?
But remember this too, not every black woman understands even the black man struggle.
Okay, so but no. The person that's commenting, look, She Diary says, who hurt you, black man? That's another thing they love to say, who hurt you? Guess what? Guess who hurt me?
I say you mad because obviously somebody's not letting you put in the work and time you want with your kids.
Guess who hurt me? Guess who hurt me? Guess who hurt me? My sister who stole from me. Guess who hurt me? My aunt, my mother. Guess who hurt me? My grandmother. Guess who hurt me? My baby mother. That's who hurt me. I am hurt. Because you love that. That's another running joke in the black community. Oh, who hurt you? Oh, who hurt you? I'll tell you who hurt me. I have a number of black women who hurt me and abandoned me and utilized this wicked American system to go against me because they see the kingly nature on me. If we really want to speak the truth, they see the kingly nature on me and they're intimidated by it. They've never had no discipline in their fucking life. So they don't like to have, oh, in true blessing, I cannot with this guy. You know who I cannot with? I cannot with none of y'all who cannot call in. I'm here to have a real discussion, but I'm not here to spare anybody's feelings. And the truth of the matter
but
is,
you do realize that they are but you do realize that they are in the field.
You got froze up a little bit, man.
Trade off.
Huh?
you froze up. I didn't hear you there.
What'd you say?
I said, like, you do realize that they aren't going to spare yours either. Then, like, if
But I need to. I want to. But it's frustrating because I need to hear them. I can't get
I think what he's saying. I think what he's saying, black women, is stop being strong all the goddamn time. Sometimes chill out. Let this man talk. Let this man lead. Especially
Conscious TV doesn't agree with that.
I don't care. I'm talking. This is Chris talking. I'm not paying attention to people's comments. I'm
talking. Hold on, I don't.
No,
like, you ain't that damn privileged. You ain't that damn privileged on this damn
stream. The host,
right the hand that's streaming you, motherfucker.
Right. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the comments of like talking about people. What I'm saying is, I know what it is that I know and experience. So what they're saying doesn't move me or not right now. What I'm saying is, what was I saying? Shit, I didn't forgot.
Listen. No. You were trying to explain. No. You were trying to explain my point.
Yeah. Like.
Put the link in the description again. It's already late. No, we have to allow somebody to call in. We've already talked enough. I want to get.
They ain't calling in right now, so I'm gonna
No. Somebody just asked for the link. I want to hear a black woman tell me how the fuck I'm wrong. How the system is set up.
I mean, it's in the stream now. The link is in the stream.
Do not call in if you agree with me. I want you to only call in if you're going to tell me how the system is not babying your ass. Oh my God. And at this point, now you got me.
Like, I don't even want it though.
No. Here they go. They mad at me now. Now they're going to try to attack my physical features or try to talk about how I must be broke.
I don't have that type of an audience, Jay Lethal. We don't.
That's what they're already doing. Read the comments.
They're just telling you
about. Listen.
Just trying to encourage you by saying, "Hey, brother, just whatever."
That's bullshit. They're mocking me just the same way they would mock you. And if you were in my comment section and they were mocking you and you told me that they were mocking you, I would believe you. I would give you that credit. I wouldn't say, no, man.
They're not mocking you. They're saying, look, there are. Okay, hold on. We got somebody on the line. Let's see.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Hello, Taylor Brooks. Come push through, Taylor.
Push through. Please let me know.
Push through, Orisha Brooks. Let's go.
Hello,
okay,
can y'all hear me?
No,
I can hear. She said, I heard her.
Oh, you heard her? Hey,
yeah.
Hello.
Me?
Yeah, you kind of cutting out, but we hear you.
Yeah, you kind of cutting out a little bit, boo.
Hello.
In and out.
Yeah.
Is something wrong with the?
We hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You sound a little distant, but we can hear you.
Okay. I was called out, so I'm here now.
Okay.
I was listening to the live, and what I meant by when I was saying it was bullshit, what's bullshit is he's not even taking into account all of the men who willingly left their children. He's not taking into the account of men who support abortion. He's just making generalizations about every black woman based on his experiences. Now, if I did that, that would be a problem. And if anybody understands a black man, it would be a black woman. So let's not act like we don't go through the similar situations. We go through the same things you guys go through. And that is not fair for you to make that generalization. I'm a single mother. I do it without sexual. I'm a single mother. I do it without Section 8. I wish I had fucking Section 8. I wish my shit was $36 a month. But it's not.
Okay. Don't we all?
Okay.
Can
So
I
don't
get
tell
in
me
on
what the
it?
government is doing for me. Don't tell me what the government is doing for me when it's not. Okay? If I have the initiative to go out and better myself, then a black man does too. And I don't want to hear nothing about what we don't do. Black women endure everything. Rape, getting beat by the hands of our own men.
And still go get
But
an
you want to sit here and
education.
talk about what black women don't do. We understand, but we're not for the bullshit no more. Take accountability for yourself.
And
A
everything
man
else
left me
will
with a
work
baby.
around
I was 19 years old. I was 19 years old when I had my son, and I got off my ass and I did what I had to do. So it's not about what nobody won't let me do. If you wanted to see your kids, you can see your kids. Fight for them like you do everything else. Instead of pushback, we need to come together. And if you're not going to come together, just be quiet.
And
Stop telling black women how to think and how to feel. Stop it. Because we support y'all 1,000%.
Even the
But
gay
we're not going
ones.
to take no bullshit from nobody. And this is coming from a single parent.
So can I ask you a question, Miss Brooks?
Yes.
As you've been listening to Jay Lethal, like, what do you
I couldn't hear that last part. What happened?
You froze
what
up.
do you hear like behind the words of Jay Lethal? Like, as you listen to him speak his frustrations with black women, or what do you feel?
Your phone is breaking up. I can't.
It's still breaking the fuck up. Am I still breaking up?
You sound fine over here to me.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'ma shut the fuck up. I'm gonna let Jay Lee. You beg the black woman to get on here and to wring your dreads dry. So now you got one wringing the motherfuckers dry. So there you go. Have the conversation with the black woman.
And to finish, and I just want to make this clear. This is not a competition. I'm not disagreeing or saying I don't like him. I don't know this man, but I'm just going by what he is saying. It has nothing to do with how I feel about him. I don't know him, but the arguments he's presenting, you can pull up statistics. I can find a statistic that supports my claims and anything that I say. Anybody can do that. But your experience is not everybody else's experience.
Can I?
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's just proof of. And I can barely hear because it's going in and out. But I just wanted to say that I'm not saying that I hate him or none of that. And I'm not even disagreeing with some of the stuff that he says. He is right about some of that stuff. But you have to realize there are differences in everybody's situation. Every situation is not like yours.
And remember this too, that some of your straight homeboys be lying to you about what's going on in their relationship too, when really they was just as an asshole to her, and that's why that woman is tagging that ass everywhere he can. Don't think that you and your homies always got the same kind of stories, because niggas lie to each other all the time to make themselves sound a certain way. I just had to say that.
I feel you. I want to talk to the young lady who just called.
If she can hear you clearly though.
Yeah, I know. Maybe she get. Maybe I don't know. But
can you hear him, Miss Brooks? Is Miss Brooks still there? Because I know she was having some technical issues too.
I'm just threw my phone on Safari.
Miss Brooks, you still there, boo?
Okay, I gotta put this phone on charger.
I'm gonna exit out and come back in because.
Okay, you let me know when you come back in. I'm gonna take her out and let her come back in. Okay, so she gonna call you back.
I mean, I tell you what, she had that spirit. You don't want to mess with that. She got that, like she said, she a single mother. I felt it.
All this some damn attention. That's all you want. You ain't had nothing to say.
We
stream, honey. You was on straight up cold.
read the comments. They was coming from you in the comments, man. Because, and I'm gonna tell you like this.
A black woman to show you some love and affection.
No. But I do want her to call back because I wanted to ask her a few questions. But I want to let it be known to the young lady who just called. If you don't call back, I don't know. But basically, the reason why I lashed out like I did is because I felt like the people in the comment section were personally attacking me. Because if you remember, I was giving my personal testimony. Can y'all hear me?
Yes. I just brought Miss Brooks back to the stream. Can you hear us, Miss Brooks? I think she's still having
she having technical difficulties.
Yeah, some connection issues. It might be StreamYard.
Or what is she using? Is she using a computer or a phone or something?
I think she's using her phone. I think.
Maybe the microphone tripping or something.
StreamYard be on their shit too. Until we can hear her. If you can't get through, Miss Brooks, you can just leave out again. I'll add you back in if you come back into the stream. Into the broadcast.
I said, did you say the train?
The train, the motherfucking airplane. I don't know what damn mode of transportation we in right now in this motherfucker. I'm dreaming.
We in an Astro van from '99, okay?
Yeah, I know it's late, but basically with the sheep, I only got mad because I felt like they were attacking me because I was giving my personal testimony. Remember, we were talking about taking fathers out the home, and that's where I said, okay, personally, I'm going through this with my family, and I only getting to see my kids once every other weekend. That's when I started talking about me. And this when people talk about bullshit, he making excuses and all this other stuff. And you can say what you want, but I'm very, very, very sensitive about that when I do everything I can and have done a lot of shit to see my kids. And I know I see how it's systematically being used against me for people who's not going through it or who don't understand it to say it's bullshit or any other little slick comments. Yeah, I'm a feel away. And I'm the type that I read comments, yes, and I react to comments. I'm a regular person. I'm not just some big celebrity who's too big to react to the comments.
Some stuff you can't let everybody shake you in your boots either, Jay.
I mean, it's not even shaking me. It's not shaking me. What it is I'm passionate, like I said. And my thing is this: show me.
But
all
remember,
this,
you only remember this too.
Hold on, wait a minute. So we got a Leroy Jones about to enter the motherfucking stream.
This is someone new?
I believe
What's going
so.
on, everybody?
What up?
What's going on, Mr. Jones?
What's the conversation?
Brother Jones.
The conversation.
Can we hear you?
Yeah, can y'all hear me? I can hear y'all good.
Okay, yeah. We can. What's going on? Like, what's your thoughts about tonight's dialogue?
I think y'all all had great points. I think y'all all came from your own perspective of things, and I think you all had great facts. I think, like you said earlier, it all comes down to love. Love trumps hate. So if you love one another like you should, you wouldn't have all this bullshit going around right now.
Maybe people can't love because don't nobody know how to love.
Well, teach them
in the proper and healthy way that they should. Maybe
I think that,
like people, and people will use your love, and when it's gone, they'll toss you aside.
And that's very true. I just feel like when you see all the marches and the protests going out in the world today, I think it will be better for us as African Americans to see like the LGBT community and the heterosexual community like together versus divided. I think they will do a great justice for both of us, standing united versus divided.
Yeah,
I really do feel that because we all need each other. At the end of the day, we all fight in the same war. No matter your sexual orientation or your preference, none of that means nothing. At the end of the day, you my brother. So at the end of the day, I beat a motherfucker ass if they come at you. You'll beat a motherfucker ass if they come at me.
I'm gonna send you my fucking hit list then.
Okay, so,
He
I'm
said
gonna
he got some
email you
people for
my
you to rally
motherfucking hit
up.
list then.
nah,
He got
it's
people
like
No, I
it's like
appreciate
it's like
King
it's
Jones.
like it's being cool. It's being cool. It's being cool.
So I got 2 questions.
Okay.
So are you straight or gay?
I'm heterosexual.
Huh?
Or straight. I'm straight.
Okay, you
Straight
straight.
heterosexual.
Okay, so with a lot of the things that Brother Jay is talking about, how do you feel about some of his sentiments and frustrations with Black women and the system and child support, and has that also been your experience as well?
Nah, it ain't really been
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really been my experience, but at the same time it's like I know who I am. Like the same way I can kick it with you, Conscious, I can kick it with Chris. I can kick it with you. I can be around you. It don't make me feel no type of way. As long as it's a respect thing. It's all about respect. You respect me where I come from, I respect where you come from. Like I kicked it in Pride. I'm from Chicago. I've been to Chicago Pride. Like they be up there kicking it. But not every time I've been up there that I've ever been like violated or touched or anything like that. Like I think it's all about like just respect. Like if we come together as one, there's no need to us being divided because that gets us nowhere. But if we come together as one and show that we are all united as African American males and females, if we all show each other as one and we all stand for each other, that will get us forward better than us being divided. Because they use that like the mainstream media, like, oh, you got the heterosexual community over here and you got the homosexual community over here. It shouldn't be like that. We all is one. You my brother. At the end of the day, no matter how you dress, no matter what you do, you still my brother. At the end of the day, I would defend you like I would defend Jay. No difference.
Yeah.
Period. You my brother.
So what you think made you more respectful toward a group of people who you obviously was raised to feel a different way about? Like, what do you think separates you from a lot of other Black into being homophobic, who do give in to being transphobic? Like, what have been the variables in your life that have made you not necessarily be defensive or resistant in that way?
It's not my place to judge nobody. As long as you show respect to me, I show respect to you. The same way I teach my kids. Don't disrespect nobody that haven't disrespected you, no matter what their background or ethnical background. If someone shows you respect, respect them back. And that's how I feel. What you do in your life don't reflect on me or what I do. But I will respect you as a brother, because at the end of the day, you're still a brother. I don't know Conscious or Chris if y'all identify as like, cisgender or just males in general, but I would still respect you as that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not with that whole like dissing somebody or like I ain't gonna stand with you because you gay or you doing all this and all that. No, that ain't me. As long as you show respect, we can kick it. Play spades, kick it, play the game, whatever. You cool. I don't give
Nigga,
a
you
fuck
get
about
your
what
ass
society
toe up
thinks.
in the motherfucking spade game with me, nigga. I'm taking all your chips, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever.
All your
It's whatever.
motherfucking chips,
It's
nigga.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just show respect and I just show love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be together right now, not divide and asking certain questions like, what do you think about this? Or what made you like this? Like, it ain't even about that. At the end of the day, you my brother. You feel me? Like, the same way I feel some type of way of my homie that grew up with me, something happened to him, I feel some type of way. If something happened to you, I feel some type of way. I'm just not with that divide shit. Like, divide shit, fuck motherfuckers up. I ain't with that.
Jay got the church finger up.
What you got?
Can I ask you a question, brother?
Go ahead.
Where were you? In what city were you? In what city were you?
I think we had a connection issue right there. I think.
Okay, say it one more time, Jay.
Everybody back.
In what city were you born, brother?
Chicago, born and raised.
Okay. And you said you have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids you got, if you don't mind?
3.
Okay. You got any boys?
Yeah, I got 2 boys and my baby girl.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
How old's your oldest boy?
13.
Oh, okay. Believe it, my oldest is about that age, is almost that age. So what happens if your oldest comes to you tomorrow and says he wants you to buy him dresses and call him Samantha? Are you gonna do it?
I'm a parent, but if that's what my child wants, I'm gonna love my child regardless. If that's what they want to do, I'm a full support of it. I'm not with that hate shit. I'm just not.
So
If that's what my child wants.
you're gonna go and buy the dresses yourself and stand at Target in the pink dresses for him and change and allow him to change his name and go through the gender reassignment and take the hormones.
Not gender reassignment.
Wait, hold on,
Child.
See now
But he's
you're
still a child, though, Jay.
no, but wait, because that's a valid argument in the
Okay, go
LBGT
ahead.
community.
Go ahead.
That's a
Is
big.
that the white LGBT or the black one? Which one?
Uh,
Because
the,
they have
the,
different opinions. The black gay
the,
community and the white gay
the
community.
the Dwayne Wade community, the Dwayne Wade community. And if you're from
Wait,
No,
Chicago,
but let him finish
hold
the
on.
question. Like, I want to hear Jay's question. I want to hear his question out.
I'm sorry.
Let him finish the question. Go ahead, Jay. Finish your question out.
so you say you're from Chicago, you know about Dwayne Wade. We know that in the black community, it's now happening in the black community where they're allowing their child to transition at a very early age. So I'm asking you, simple question: are you going to allow your 13-year-old son to tomorrow? I'm talking July 5th. Come to you, and now you go to Target and Walmart, stand in line with him, buy him pink dresses, call him Samantha, and potentially take hormone blocking pills, because that's what they're doing at this age, and they're allowed to take hormone blocking chemicals. So are you going to allow that, brother, tomorrow? Just a simple
You ain't
question.
even give him time to process it.
No, I know. It should no, because if it's no inclusive, if you say you're not with the hate and all that other stuff, it should be a simple yes. It should be a simple, of course.
I didn't answer the question.
Everybody don't agree with the whole agenda.
You didn't give me the question to answer though. Like, you gave me the question, I want to answer it.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, I would, because I can't not what my child wants to do. Like, of course, me personally, it's not what my bread and butter is, but if that's my child, I'm gonna love and support my child regardless. So yes, I will be in Target right along next to Samantha if that's what Samantha wants to do. I'm not going to take away from my child. That's my child, bro. If that's what my child feels and that's what they want to do, I'm a parent. I'm a father.
Would you spend any time at all, whether it be a few days, a few hours, a few weeks, would you spend any time at all trying to talk him out of it before finally embracing him? Even if it were just to try to quickly so what you're saying is, if tomorrow, July 5th, your son comes to you and says, I want to be called Samantha, out of nowhere, you're just going to embrace it and say yes, no questions asked.
That's my child, yes.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me throw this in your ear. What, as a fellow parent, what if I told you that that's irresponsible and potentially your child may have been introduced to some sexual trauma, and because you're not questioning that extreme change of behavior, and now you call it loving your kid, but in actuality, you're not really loving your kid, because your kid could have been molested and then now is coming out crying to you, telling you, oh, I'm gay, dad, or I want to wear dresses. And instead of sitting down with him and saying, son, where did you hear this? Where did you learn this? How long have you been feeling this? Instead of actually trying to get to know where this thought came from, you just embrace him because you love him. Because really, the truth is, Black men are being forced to embrace this homosexuality thing. So you feel like if you don't embrace and love him, quote unquote, you're homophobic. But I'm telling you, your grandma, if you're from Chicago, you got a grandma or somebody, when your grandma smacked you in the back of the head, you never thought to yourself, oh, she hates me. No, sometimes love is painful. Love is telling you, no, you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. So what I'm telling you, brother, is that while you're telling me you love your son, I'm telling you true love is to sit down with him first, at least before you embrace it. Don't just because the media said, oh, we gotta love him no, sit down with him for real.
But Conscious TV just told you what happens when you have a
I
problem
can't
with it. We
answer.
just talked about that. You taking 2 steps back, Jay.
But to answer
We
you,
just
brother
told
Jay,
you that.
let me answer that, brother Jay, for that question.
Oh, sorry.
Would I sit down and have a conversation with my son that wanted to become a woman?
Of course you would.
If I would do that, but at the same point, I would not sit here and say that I'm finna try to like school you and say like this is wrong. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. I believe in this. I believe in that. I ain't gonna do that to him. If this is what he truly believes, and this is what he truly feels like he want to do,
That's
I'm
fair.
always supportive of that.
That's
As a
fair.
parent, like you got to support your kids, no matter what decisions they decide to make. As a parent, you have to support them.
But what if it's a potentially not saying that homosexuality is dangerous, but what if they're making a potentially dangerous situation? Should you still
We don't
embrace
know
it?
that it's dangerous. We're not, because every person who is gay has not been sexually assaulted as a child.
Thank you.
Every gay
But
person has not been through that. Like there will be ignorance
guess
for me
what?
to say that.
But guess what? Conscious TV brought up a whole bunch of statistics about how it's more dangerous, whether it's because of suicide or because of attacks against LGBTs. Conscious TV said that to be gay is actually more dangerous. So to be honest, you're putting them in a more dangerous situation, right?
I think that's more for Conscious TV to answer because you addressing him.
Can I tag me in? Somebody tag me in.
Hold on, wait. Yeah, you can't.
We gonna be up all night. No. We're gonna be up till 7 in the morning.
I just want to tag in.
No. Hold on. Slow it down. I don't even know what. So I'm saying what I just said was.
No, you addressed Conscious, so this is more about Conscious TV responding. You addressed to him.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. So to reiterate, what I just said was that if you're saying you want to embrace your son, you want to, or he's in the best situation possible. Okay. For one, again, like I said, you're not sitting down, because if my son at any age came and told me, particularly maybe at 13, I can understand, but a lot of these people like Charlize Theron, I don't know if you know who Charlize Theron is, this white actress.
I don't know who that is.
Anyway, it's the white woman who played she played on X-Men. She played the blue mutant on X-Men. Anyway, Chicago? I don't know, she might be from Chicago. No, she's from South Africa.
No, the movie Chicago.
Oh yeah, she was in a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, she adopted a little black boy and she's raising him as a girl. And her excuse was when he was 3 years old, he told her he wants to be a girl. And so she just went along with it for this long. So my thing is this: at 3 years old, if my little boy says I'm a girl, it is not responsible for me to say okay and allow it. That is not.
I agree with you on that one. At 3,
I will say this too. Depending on where you live demographically, it might not. I get what you're saying. Why would you put your son or daughter in harm's way that you know that they're gonna be treated a certain way?
At 3 years old, I agree with you, Jay. At 3, no, but at 13, I would definitely have a conversation.
So what's the cutoff point? What's the cutoff point?
Hold on. So you're saying that trying to keep them from being trans at a young age is a way to protect them from transphobia,
or from society mistreating them, and you just want them to come away.
No.
What I'm saying is, like, for instance, like what I just brought out. There's so many points, but what I just brought out was about Charlize Theron. You're telling me how can it be responsible for a 3-year-old child to tell you, I'm a girl, mommy, and you go along with that and call that love? That's not love.
Went from like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old to a 3-year-old.
Right. But no. But I changed it up. I use 13 because that's how
Well,
old you said your child was. But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
so if we talk about a 13-year-old, that's something different than a 3-year-old.
okay,
Like
but
that's two different situations.
but is it really though? Because what's the cutoff
Yeah, it
point? They're both
is.
looked at as
It
minors.
is. That's
They're both looked at as minors. What's the cutoff
but
point, really?
at 13, you can
Okay,
make
so at
more
what
it's a
point does it
different.
stop
It's
being?
different. It's a
At what
difference,
point
bro.
does it stop being concerning? Like if it's concerning at 3 years old, it's still concerning at 4 years old. At what point does it stop being
But you
concerning?
don't have most 3 and 4-year-olds talking about I want to be like if I'm a boy, I don't see too many 3 and 4-year-olds
And you
talking
got
about I want to be a
Charlize
girl.
Theron that
I
lives
can
in a
show you a
different world
lot.
than you, Jay.
You don't see that a lot. Like you
I'm
have
just saying
isolated
it's coming up
situations,
more
but you
than you
don't
think,
have that
brother.
common.
But
More than you think.
Charlize Theron lives in a whole different kind of world and zip code than you.
But what do you mean?
That boy is growing up in a whole different kind of world than you and I. Just like Magic Johnson's son. He can pull that off because he's in Hollywood. He's in LA. You can get away with that more than if you was to push him to Tulsa or out Mobile, Alabama, or somewhere. It depends. Charlize Theron's son and Dwayne, they live in a different world.
You're not about to play all them goddamn videos and get my goddamn stream copyright.
I'm not gonna play a video. I'm not gonna play the video, but I wanted y'all to see the screenshot about how they have this thing called Boys Can Be Princesses Too. And it doesn't even make any sense because the definition of a princess is you have to be a woman. You have to be a female.
But Jay,
They're trying to confuse our kids. They're confusing our kids.
Hold on.
Jay, it don't make sense for cartoons.
Jay, as us as parents,
that's animals.
You're gonna support your child no matter what they go through, right? Will you support your child?
Of course I'll support them, but support doesn't mean allowing. Support doesn't mean allowing.
That's it. It's support.
But supporting,
no matter what my child goes through.
If my child's a heroin addict. Okay, brother. If my child is a heroin addict.
You switching it up though. You putting them in like dire situations. Like you keep switching.
No, because it should go all around the board. All I'm saying is this.
Just support, but you keep switching it. Like it went from being a
no, but you
transgender
because you said support
heroin.
You said, brother. You said support. You said because you said you would support your child in any situation. So I'm bringing up any situation. You said any situation. No, hold on, brother. Hold on. One at a time. You said any situation. I'm bringing up any situation. So in the situation that your child's on heroin, how do you support them? Do you support them, quote unquote?
Is any of your children going to do anything that you're saying about right now? Is any of your children going through that?
They could be.
Yes or no?
They could be.
So that's a no.
No. Hold on. No.
You bringing up hypotheticals, and it's like.
And guess what, brother? Guess what, brother? I respectfully, you join this chat where all we're doing is talking about hypotheticals. Guess what, brother? This entire 9-hour chat, we've been talking about hypotheticals, and we've been sprinkling in a little bit of personal, real life stuff from our real life. So what you're talking? No. I mean, run it back if you think I'm lying. The only person who's mentioned anything personal about their life is really me. So what you're talking about, I need to keep it to a personal conversation and not about, the whole thing is about hypotheticals. So hypothetically speaking, brother, if your child was on heroin, you're not going to support them by buying them heroin or allowing them to shoot up heroin in your house.
Loving the heroin addict.
It's not about stop loving them. But guess what? Loving them is going to put them in an intervention program where they might go through withdrawals. That's loving them also. And that's what the LGBT community doesn't understand.
Loving your child through if my child.
If
I was a straight person and my child said, Dad, I think I'm gay. Let's say he's 14, 15. First thing I'm doing is calling my nearest gay partner. Look, my son going through some shit that I, as a father, not gonna know how to navigate him through this. But can I get a little help and a little understanding from you and help and guide my child?
I wouldn't do that.
I hope they got a trans friend or somebody that's talking to their son and not just them winging it.
Nah, but Jay, me and you as parents, right? If my son told me, like you said, if we were gonna be Samantha, I would definitely sit down with my child and talk to him about it. But if this is something that he strongly or she strongly sits on and they're not going to change their mind, it's not my place to you need to do this because I'm your dad. I don't act like that. Why you act like that? It ain't my place to do that. It's only my place to like understand that you got love here. I don't love you no less.
Fair enough. I can.
I'm
I mean, and again,
hold on a minute. I'm laughing at Neo Flower because it said, "Wow, Heron." See, he's reaching to make his points. That is a.
But guess what? A lot of people love to say that I'm reaching, but if you really take the time to listen to my analogies, they make perfect sense. You remember when you were in school, it used to say A is to B as C is to D. Basically,
nah, but Jay, I get what you're saying. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. Like,
and I get
would
how,
like had that sound with a child. Like, I get what you're saying, bro.
right. What the point I'm trying to make is not so much trying to stretch or even change the subject. The point I'm making is when we talk about support, we have to make it into a real life context, meaning support doesn't always mean allow this thing or enable this thing. So what I'm talking about when I said the heroin thing, if your child's on heroin, you can support and love them by sending them to intervention, which at the moment may seem like you don't love them because the main person was.
But Jay, as a parent, we can talk to our kids all day, every day about this is wrong. Don't do this. Don't do that. That don't stop them from doing what they're gonna do. It don't stop that, and that's the unfortunate reality of it. We can talk to our kids all day, every day about this is wrong. Here, we all know heroin is fucking wrong. We know that it's wrong. You shouldn't do it. We can talk to them and tell them that. But is that gonna stop them from doing it if they don't want to do it? No. But it's like one thing we can do is give our advice. It's all about advice.
I can agree with that. Somebody coming in. What's up with that new person coming in?
It's
how many people?
He's trying to get his. He's trying to get his.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear from one of these black women though. How many people can be on the chat?
It's
Ain't
45,
you tired?
It's 40. Look, what you want? What you want to hear from them fuckers when they get on here? All you do is have a mute mouth. Like what you want to?
Nah. She didn't give me her. Remember, her phone was messed up. She didn't give me a chance to talk to her. I wrote some notes down for her.
No, you taking some good tutelage from just brother Leroy Jones.
Can you guys hear me?
He's giving you the one-on-one.
But shout out to you, Jay, for being a good father.
Shout out, bro.
And the basic fundamentals of supporting.
I respect communication. Like I said, I just want to hear. I want to hear. Oh shoot, I don't even know what happened, but I want to hear from some of the black women, because remember the conversation real quick. We, like I said, okay, you have 2 kids, right, Leroy? I think he's muted. Can you hear me?
Oh no, something I don't know what the hell going on.
Yeah, let's bring. Can we, before we end up? Can we bring at least one more of the women here?
It's a bunch of shit going on.
Oh man.
Hold on.
My bad. I actually hit the restart.
I don't know where Leroy went. He done disappeared. This shit shifting. Deshaun, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What's going on, Mr. Stallings? Let me get Leroy back on here. How you feeling? What are your thoughts? Give us your everything.
Oh, say what you did. I'm back. Say what you
see, when he talks about Dwayne Wade and about how they are going to do like the transitioning, I don't think they're going to do the transitioning. They can't do the transitioning at age 13.
Not because that's illegal.
They can start taking no, but wait, hold on. Before you continue, they are allowed to take hormone blockers and chemicals to stop.
Did he say he was gonna let his kids do that though?
No. What I'm saying
they never
is
said that.
No, I'm not.
I'm putting stuff on him that he didn't even say.
No, we don't have to.
Because they can do it don't mean he was gonna allow his kids.
No, we don't have to keep the conversation on Dwayne Wade. What I'm saying is this is a conversation that is being introduced as the quote unquote new normal.
So is there an article about kids, taking these hormone pills and stuff like that?
Yes.
At age 12?
I can send you multiple articles if you give me your email. I can also send you the article where a lot of the people who transitioned, especially the people in their teens who transitioned, they then over 70% of them wanted to transition back. I can send you a lot of different articles, but I mean the point of the matter
about the times that they was doing this too. If you got a sex change in 1980, I bet the procedures in 2020 gonna look a lot different.
No, you can look on you. You can look on YouTube. You can look on YouTube. You can look on YouTube in 2020 and see the people who are teenagers who have transitioned and regretted it. But that's not even the point. I'm talking about the people who are too young to even see a rated R movie, but somehow they're allowed to take chemicals. Look, they're too young to get a tattoo on their body, but they can take a chemical that's going to alter their body's balance and structure.
I know.
That
And
just doesn't make sense.
you know, kids are sexualized in all, like, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real about this. Kids are sexualized in all genders. It's not just gay. There's straight that groom their kids too. I mean, you heard what Little Boozy said about his child. Oh, I don't want him to be gay. I want him to be watching porn at 12 years old. Like, you're just giving everybody you know, an example. Oh, I'm going to do it too. Like, my kids can watch porn too and have sex with an older woman at 27 or 30 years old. And you don't even know if that girl probably have freaking AIDS or something like that, or freaking STDs and stuff. You're giving it to your child. Now you failed as a father, because the thing is that all that is nothing but failure from broken homes. All of that comes from broken homes. All of that comes from broken homes. Every last bit of it. And mostly a lot of people, nobody talks about this stuff. Men get sexualized as well by women as well, but nobody want to talk about that.
Right, men won't talk about it.
You know what I mean? Because when men try to speak out and cry out about the situation, half of those men also talk about, oh, you're a fag if you talk about that shit. Oh, you're a fucking, oh, you shouldn't be talking about it. Or I should have gotten that and hit that too. And all that bullshit. What about that? That's masculinity. Women don't be held accountable about their actions.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's the problem in this community today. Everybody want to be unbalanced and everything else. We need to talk about the whole situation. Kids are not supposed to be having sex with no grown person. And that's that.
I completely agree. Kids don't need to be sexualized, fucking, none of that kind of shit.
But I mean, if you look at little girls' clothes, they be a little hoish sometimes. When you look at certain clothes.
Okay, so
like, wearing those clothes and stuff like that.
What I think is very interesting, though, at the same time, like, that's an interesting conversation in general, because at the same time, it's like when we say that little girls' clothes be hoish, that also is a sexualizing of woman's body, of female body. So when we say little girls' clothes be hoish, like who are the gatekeepers of what's considered patriarchy?
All I can say is if it's because we know there's pedophiles out there.
Okay, what
you gotta guard yours. Like I say, everybody's worried about the little girl, but nobody never looks out for the little boys. You gotta guard your kids in every kind of way. Guard their mind, guard their heart.
Do you know why? But do you know why we apply the pressure on little girls to dress appropriately and to whatever? It's because we're tailoring the world to patriarchy. We're tailoring the world to counteract to have self-discipline. So once again, we have women who inherit that sexism, who inherit that patriarchy, who inherit all of that bullshit, while once again, men get to sit back for the buffet. Women have to wear their titties covered, their thighs covered, because they are hypersexualized within the male culture. And I don't think...
Or is it that men are just sexually people?
Yeah, and I don't think the safety of women in that way should be on women. I think that men just need respect women the same way that gay fucking men respect women. Are around each other, whether she's dressed provocatively or not, she still gets to be treated like a fucking lady, and she never has to worry about being raped or groped or feeling like her that I'm entitled to her body. So men just need to learn some fucking self-control. Stop fucking burdening women with this shit. Stop it.
I tell men this too. Put your common sense before your lust. A lot of times with women, that'll save you out of a lot of trouble. Put your common sense before your lust. For the women, you might find yourself out of trouble, or ooh, I dodged that one.
Look, I'm not saying that predators don't exist, but I think as long as we're
a sexual culture, though, we promote sex. Sex is in our movies.
If we don't change toxic masculinity and patriarchy and just become whole and healed, women and gay men and trans women are going to have to walk out essentially like fucking Mortal Kombat characters in order to protect themselves against the world, when it's really the fucking world that needs to motherfucking change and stop with the bullshit. A woman shouldn't have to walk around with fucking mace, half a goddamn butter knife, a machine, a fucking machete, have a fucking dress down to her goddamn ankles, have on snow motherfucking boots, driving around in a goddamn military tank just so she can go to the goddamn grocery store and make it home in fucking time. If I want my if I want a titty bounce all the way to the grocery store in my mini skirt, guess what? What the fuck?
But the reality is,
what the fuck it got to do with you? And dare me to put these titties up. Dare me to put these titties up so that you don't feel entitled. Dare me to put these titties up so that you don't got to deal with your motherfucking hormones. So you don't got to deal with your motherfucking horniness. That ain't my personal problem. Okay?
Well, is that something we need to start teaching?
It's not the problem. The upper thigh meat and how it impacts you is not my problem. Women are tired of having to atone for the motherfucking sins. You know, I'm starting to believe that Jesus was a fucking woman. I'm starting to believe that who took the cross was a whole woman, because
I'm gonna tell you like this though,
ain't nobody atoned for more motherfucking sins and communities than
males. Listen. Again, you have a problem with biology because males of every species are dominant over women and assert their authority over women and do all type of antics to have sex with women and reproduce with women, and they may even be all up in the woman's face when she doesn't want it. Males of every males of every single species. The very nature, when you look at the little lizards, they fight over who. You look at the rams, they butt heads. You look at any animal, they're fighting over the woman, and they're doing all different type of things to reproduce with the woman. So what you're saying is just the human version of us asserting our dominance over women. That is, you're saying it's toxic in a human form, but what I'm saying is it's prevalent in every other species on the earth.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on, brother, sister, girl, real quick.
Man, look, we're gonna be here all night. I gotta get some rest.
Hold on, dreadlocks. Hold on, Rasta. So all of a sudden now we can use the fucking animal kingdom motherfucking reference. Okay, I'm all cool. Hold on, I'm all cool with men assimilating to lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! But just fucking remember that when you want to use the excuse of what the animal get to do, remember that transgenderism, lesbianism, and homosexuality are also practiced and found within Mother Nature too. So when you see human beings, when you see pussy on pussy action and dick on dick action,
I've heard of these rarities. I've heard of these rare instances.
You see motherfuckers morphing from one goddamn gender to the other. I want you to think about nature.
I've heard of these rare instances. There
ain't no motherfucking rare instances.
Like for instance.
Dolphins, cows, whales, cats, snakes, what rare instance when we can find the alternative lifestyle practice all up and through the jungles of the Congo.
Practice regularly or practice spontaneously?
When animals are in their native and natural habitats.
Okay, are they practicing it regularly are they practicing it spontaneously?
Does it motherfucking matter if they want to
Yes,
be
it matters.
once a month, if they want to be bisexual twice out of the year? At the end of the day, they get down with the get
Nah,
down.
because if it was regular, if it was a regularity, you could then attribute it to a lifestyle but for instance, somebody mentioned to me about how giraffes have male giraffes often basically rub their penis against each other, something like that. In other words, but when you look into it, the reason why the male giraffes are doing this is because a lot of them have a high level of testosterone, and it's a lot. The alpha giraffe takes the women, and so the giraffes that are not the alpha, they don't get the women, and so they're sexually frustrated. So a lot of the times they wrestle.
I'm not talking about no damn giraffe.
No. I'm giving you an example about one of the animals that do this. So I'm saying.
Wait a minute. So let me give you a better example then. Okay, now it's 4:00 in the morning. Forgive me, but I will come back and say the fuck out of this next commentary if I have to give the literal rundown. Okay, now there are fish in motherfucking salt water. There's a particular species of fish, right, who actually transform their gender depending on the ratio of female to male fish within the school of fish. So, prime example, if there are not enough male fish to female fish, a portion of the female fish will actually transform into male fish, reproduce with the female fish, and vice versa. If there's a disproportion of female fish to male fish can transform themselves into female fish, intercourse,
still fulfilling
and populate their motherfucking
still fulfilling a function. That's still fulfilling a particular function, though. So what I'm saying is
no. Don't lose the other point. The other point is that transgenderism is not a exclusive human ability. Swapping between genders is found outside of humanity's range for whatever fucking reason in which people in which species swap. They motherfucking swap. And what I'm saying is that, okay, for all the Christians, right? You got to think about your own scriptures. Man was the last thing created after the earth, after the dust, after the waters and the air were separated, okay?
Okay.
And so what does that make man? Man is the last of creation because mankind is creation, which is why if you study every culture nuancedly enough, if you study every human culture every nuancedly enough, you will find every practice found in nature found in some human practice as well, because you cannot separate nature and humanity, because man is the sum total of all fucking creation. So that's why you get the diversity of human of the human species.
And why man feels so authoritative onward.
Different. Okay, so we sitting here talking about, oh, you're a bad, unloving fucking parent because you're supporting your motherfucking 3-year-old being your 3-year-old boy being a 3-year-old girl, okay? But we ain't saying shit about all the indigenous African cultures that are motherfucking molding their 3-year-olds and 2-year-old skulls into ovals and spaceships and alien gray heads and shit. We're not talking about the motherfucking piercing and tattooing processes that go on with African and indigenous fucking children, because all those things are black and tribal, right? We don't fuck about that, but we over here throwing a whole fucking fit over black people supporting the little boy putting on some fucking lip gloss.
And those African things, that's in Africa. In America,
about it too, because you ain't gonna get up on this live and act like you ain't seen a motherfucking 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 4-year-old ass black boy who in your mind you said, I know that motherfucker gonna be gay when he grow up. I fucking know it. I know his ass is gonna be little Susie in a few, baby. Like you have seen a femininity naturally expressed with children. You've seen masculinity. Don't act like you've never been around girls who are acceptable to masculine activities, to fucking sports.
Right.
Trees with your ass getting dirty.
Straight men accept a lesbian bush woman before they accept the feminine gay dude.
This is just how it fucking goes. And you're telling parents, oh, you know what? If you see your little girl being masculine, you're being a bad parent by allowing her to just do her thing and be who she is. Are you
all I'm saying,
a parent if you're allowing your little boy to be a tom girl and to play with fucking Barbies and to have a fucking easy bake oven and shit?
I just want, what all I'm saying is, it's not saying anybody's a good or a bad parent. I just want at the very least, let's just say I agree with everything you say. Can I at least have the ability to still identify things as I see fit in my own perspective and to teach my kids what I understand? Can I at least have that?
Yes.
But maybe
teach them the other part too.
But it feels like we're having the same conversation all like over again. I already said 45 hours ago that
you said that, but that's not what I'm seeing in society.
You can't teach your kids that. Like, teach them what the fuck you want to teach them. But
you said respect.
Hold on, wait. Yeah, but I personally have recommended just slap respect on the end. Like, you can teach children what the fuck.
Because I'm not teaching. That's the thing. Respect never became an issue. I never was teaching them disrespect.
An issue when you didn't mention it, because oftentimes you heterosexuals do leave out the respect part, which is why y'all around here getting y'all motherfucking mouth, because y'all think y'all can talk to trans and queer people how the fuck y'all do, and that's why trans are.
We don't disrespect. We don't teach. No, we don't. No. We don't teach our kids to disrespect anybody.
No. A Caucasian trans had to tear what's behind the register, was raised by parents who said, you know what, you call a motherfucker what the fuck you want to call a motherfucker, and a motherfucker almost didn't make it home to that same family that raised his ass to be stupid because Caucasian trans was about to haul off so that funeral arrangements could be made. Now, all I'm saying is it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to get violent because someone. No. Wait. Almost finished. I want to say this last part. If y'all are okay with raising y'all children to get their ass whooped by my children, who I'm going to train to beat the dog shit out of if they dare are disrespected, that's fine. Raise them to look at trans women as
don't let your mouth cash a check.
Raise them to look at trans men as women. I'm just letting you know I'm gonna raise my babies to beat the shit out of your babies when your babies use their American rights to say what the fuck they want to say, and we just gonna call it motherfucking even. I'm fine with that, but just know your baby's gonna be suspended and in the ER
and locked up.
So two things. My babies know how to fight just like I know how to fight. And if I see a person and if I call a person sir and they feel like they want to physically get violent with me, I welcome that. Because the problem is this. It's irresponsible. You mentioned to me how one time how it's in short, it's irresponsible or it can be dangerous to put out a certain narrative to people. I would throw that sentiment back at you and say it may be dangerous to mention that somehow violence is an acceptable reaction.
But remember though too,
wait. I just want to finish. I just want to finish this thing. I just want to finish a sentence real quick because I just want to finish this. I feel like it's irresponsible to put out the narrative that is somehow acceptable to respond with violence when someone calls you not only just says something to you. First of all, it doesn't matter what they say to you.
Yes, it does.
Unless it was a physical threat about I'm about to hurt you or something where you felt like your life was in danger, that's when you can respond with violence. Anything else? No, listen. Anything else? Anything else, even them calling you a nigger. Because listen, if I punch somebody and broke their jaw because they called me a nigger, I'm going to jail for assault.
And I'm bailing you out.
But we're not going to miss the point. The point is,
there ain't no point.
There is the point.
The Bible says, hold on, wait a minute. If your scriptures say that life and death is in the power,
you don't have to go to the scriptures. Let's not go to the scriptures.
If scriptures say that life and death is in the power of the motherfucking tongue.
No, we're not gonna go to the scriptures.
What you saying is, Jay, what you trying to say, you basically saying, okay, I disrespect you. You don't necessarily have to go to the extreme of kicking my ass. Okay, but understand this: a lot of gay and trans people are on guard because there's always motherfuckers that do want to beat their ass for just walking down the street or just coming into GameStop. That man was, that trans person was just trying to get their stuff. You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is,
being disrespectful. And you can't tell me that most young people don't understand politically correct where we're at as a society. Yeah, that looked like a dude in the face, but he got on a wig. So, like I said, he could have also handled it without saying, ma'am, sir, none of that. Hello, my name is, and your name is, and that would have skirted around all of that. It's always a proper way to do things. Do things in decent and in order. You could act. There's ways to get around.
So essentially, what you're asking me to do then is just be prejudiced or be not prejudiced. No. I understand that point, but you're asking me to have my opinion in my living room quietly. That's what you're asking.
Don't we? Oh, wait a minute. But haven't we always done that as parents?
No, I haven't done that. I never did that. I never did that.
I'm saying, I never did that. Don't you always teach your kids what goes on in this house and what I teach you? Everybody teach their kids different shit.
I teach my kids just like you should teach your kids to live your truth. How can the same community who champions the phrase "live your truth"? How could you silence my truth? That doesn't make sense.
Oh my God! But we just had 24 hours worth of unpacking. Hold on, we just had 20 hours of unpacking that of unpacking that.
And I told you from the beginning that.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. So are we really going to? Because this is not high schoolers. We're talking. It's 3 adults on the panel.
Yes.
Now, right? Okay. So your freedom of speech in your maturity should not warrant you to use your freedom of speech to be psychologically violent upon someone else. Now, that's what children do, which is why you raise your children to guard their mouth, to say beautiful things out of their mouth, and to say inspiring, motivational, affirming things to themselves, to their parents, to their families, and to other children. Okay, so what children do is use their fucking freedom of speech to be reckless. But we're talking about their parents. We're talking about
nobody's being reckless. You're nobody's being reckless. Nobody's being reckless. It's not. You're calling it reckless because if you no. Let's be honest. Because if my name is Jay Lethal,
it's not reckless for you to be behind closed doors or with your lady and refer to me as a she or to misgender me. But yes, it's reckless if I'm directly communicating to you and you misgender me.
Right. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. You want me to have my opinion in my own house.
I want you to refer to me.
A lot of people have their own opinions in their house. That's always been that. Jay, that's always been that. People have political opinions in their own house. You don't go to the club.
Mute button.
I am going to mute. Shut the hell. Be look. Peace.
I'm gonna jump off, okay?
Because if me and you have to communicate for whatever reason, okay, maybe we work together, maybe maybe we're co-workers, maybe I'm your Uber driver, okay? For a temporary moment in time, we have to intersect. We have to intersect. I'm letting you know that if you have a question for me and you want to speak to me, I'm giving you my divine name or my divine pronoun, which is he or she. If you want to get my attention respectfully, that you're going to have to refer to me as what I tell you to. Now, if you want a problem, it's okay for you to have a problem because we can have a problem. But I'm just letting you know the way for you not to have a problem with me is for you to respect me while we are communicating.
I understood that a lot.
Now, let's say I'm your supervisor or I'm your coworker, and you are someone who believes that, you know what, I ain't gotta call her. I'm gonna call her him. Every time you refer to him, I'm not gonna know who the fuck you're talking about. I'm gonna fix them fries accordingly and tend to my motherfucking register until you learn what pronoun that you must use in order to get my motherfucking attention. If you don't want to be paid dusty, because if I call you out of your name or call you as something you don't want to be called, rightfully so. You have the right to pay me dust, to pay me no mind, to ignore the fuck out of me, to not acknowledge me, for me to be a fly on the wall. And I'm just simply saying, look, just call it homophobia, because there's no other reason why somebody would be that hell bent on what another motherfucker want to be referred to.
It's not about being hell bent. It's just about identity. Human beings identify everything that they look out. That's a car. That's
okay then.
Can I get one sentence out?
If I'm Tiffany, then what's the problem? If I'm Tiffany, what's the fucking issue?
What I'm saying is human beings identify. So
if I'm identifying as Tiffany, what's your problem? What's your problem?
But, Jay,
Tiffany. I'm Tiff.
You're right. Humans
Tiff.
do identify. But what you're not realizing
I'm
is,
identifying as
so when my brother or when
I'm Tiffany. So what's the problem?
I understand that. I get that, and I don't even have
something to identify. I'm Tiffany.
But so now in my mind, I'm still.
I don't care what's in your mind. My name is Tiffany. What's in your mind is none of my business. You know what my name is. My name is Tiffany. If you want my attention for whatever reason, my name is Tiffany. My name is Tiffany. With your philosophy and your ideology, I'm just letting you know my motherfucking name is Tiffany. That's all my business is. My business ain't what motherfucking religion you assigned to and what the fuck you believe about the earth. My name is Tiffany. Jay, I'm Tiffany. Nice to meet you, Jay Alito.
Yeah, I feel you. That makes sense.
How are you doing today?
Right, I got you. I got that. That, I mean, like I said, that I can't argue with that. I would. My whole point was, where does it's not even. And I guess speaking from a point of privilege and all this, but again, if I'm living in my reality, that's Tiffany over there. Yes, that's Tiffany, and I'm allowing Tiffany to be Tiffany. I still, in my realm, whether it be the person I talk to, whether it be somebody mentioned anything like that, I can still have the ability to say, oh, I don't know, man. I'm just, at this point, we've been talking about a million things. Who is this person on the line now?
This will be Sheldon. Sheldon, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I ain't gonna lie. We reaching a marathon time right now. I'm gonna have to go to sleep in a minute.
I know. I'm not going to be long. But what I will say though is this. I think that you do make valid points from both perspectives. But what I have noticed is that when you're making these points, both parties, you do take into consideration only what your views are, but you're not assimilating alternative views as well. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to learn. You will only learn if you can say, well, yes, this is my viewpoint, and multiple perspectives can be true. It doesn't mean you have to agree, but it just simply means that your perspective is different to mine, it's different to hers, it's different to someone else's. And all perspectives can be true. It just depends on where you're coming from. And that is the way you learn. So whilst you're saying in terms of your experiences with your previous partners and your children, that has formed your thinking, and that is true. Someone else is saying that her experience, I can't remember what her name is, but she was saying about being a single parent, she's not on Section 8, blah blah blah, and that has formed her perspective. Both things are true, and you have to develop some appreciation for someone else's perspective in order to assimilate knowledge. You do not learn that way if you're going to be dogmatic and you're going to be saying, well, okay, it is this way and it is this way only. It doesn't work that way. And I wanted to ask you something, Jay, because you mentioned the giraffes. So if your homeboy, I'm not from